don't know.
Hence
When
with ghosts and spirits.
When you were
That's what they
younger,
could
have
be.
you... Please tell me I'm not the only person that did this, because my mind is a fucked up place. But I used to be able to look out my window, like out into the distance, and I used to be able to see things like run across roofs. Things that weren't actually moving and were never supposed to be moving were just moving in my mind. And it looked like things were moving across the roofs and like swaying when they weren't supposed to be.
No, I haven't.
I used to be able to look at shadows, and the shadows would move and, you know, like grow limbs and stupid shit.
Yeah, but that's
I was born
mostly
with
your
ADHD,
mind, right?
so that usually happened with me a lot. Like I would think. Actually, I would honestly swear that I could look at something like a ball on a table or something, and it would move. It wouldn't move that much. It would move like maybe a few inches or something, and then I'd look back, and it's back, where it was originally.
Toy Story vibes.
Straight up fucking Toy Story vibes, actually. Yeah.
Oh, you remember the time I told you about the Barney doll, or the Barney plushie?
No, yeah.
I haven't told Nathan this.
No, I
when
don't
I
know.
when I was younger, I must have been like 7 or 8. I used to be in my old room, and I used to have a double bed with like a desk on the underneath. And I used to have a double. And I used to sleep on that with like. And when I was younger, I had this Barney plush thing that had 3 little like a hat with 3 faces. Used to be a fireman, an ambulance, and a police hat.
Yeah.
Now, as a child, you know, you play with your things and then you're stupid and you don't put them away because you're a fucking idiot. And I left it on the floor, and it was on its side. And I got out of my bed to go to the toilet, and I must have like tripped on it or something because it was standing back upright. I wasn't really that bothered. I knew I'd kick something. It was probably that. Now, when I looked at the toy when I woke up an hour later, it was staring dead at me. Like its mouth was open, and it was doing its little thing where its mouth would open and close a little bit because of the wind or whatever. And his eyes were just fucking staring at me. Just looking like this.
That's fucking creepy, bro.
And then I look at it and I go, okay, that's weird. And then I fall back asleep. And then I get back up again, and the hat's turned. It's on a different hat now. It was on the fireman, it's now on the policeman. And he's still looking at me. And I was just like, I'm getting him the fuck out of there. So I got off of my bed and I threw him under my bed. And when I picked him up in the morning, he had the ambulance hat instead of the police hat, even though I never touched the head.
All right.
It's like the weirdest thing I've ever encountered. And I can go onto Google images and I can find you the exact toy that I used to have.
All right. You can do that for me. I would love to figure. I would love to put an image to it.
Barney the dinosaur toy.
I used to sleep in the same room as my brother, and there's times where he couldn't sleep, right? And he swear he saw like a ghost once in our room, and it's these things that are hard to believe unless you witness them yourself. Like this Barney thing, they're like hard to believe because it like there's so many things that your mind plays tricks on you, like so many things.
Yeah.
These things in the night where you look at your chair and your vest is, or like your shirt is over it, and it just looks like a person or something, and you turn the lights on and it's just your shirt.
Yeah, I do think I just had an overactive imagination, but it's just like, Jesus, man. But yeah, that's like, that's the toy that I had. I put it in general, and he has the 3 hats.
Oh yeah, okay. That's pretty creepy. That's a pretty creepy toy, not gonna lie. So
like, bear in mind, I had like these red curtains, and the moon was like perfectly on it, so he looked brighter than he actually was. So his eyes were like dead white.
Oh fuck, that's fucking creepy, bro. I just feel like our minds play a lot of tricks on us anyway, because we're basically like as animals as well, right? So we still have this animal instincts as well, and it's normal. In the dark, that's why a lot of people are scared of the dark as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we in the dark we feel more vulnerable than in the light, and
Well,
that
yeah,
makes a
because
lot of sense.
fear of the unknown.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. So things you can't see, there's predators out there. You know, your mind makes up for that shit. Your brain thinks there's more um, danger in the dark because could be things creeping up on you.
The best
And
thing that the best way it was explained to me is that you're not afraid that you're alone in the dark. You're afraid that you're not alone.
yeah,
Like that's
exactly.
the way your brain goes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's you know, for animals, for like for what? For like normal animals, for I don't care, sheep in the dark, there's this frightening that you're scared of a wolf lurking nearby, you know, in the dark. You're out in the field, it is. And for for our humans, we have these thoughts that there's ghosts, spirits, other entities that might exist in this life. And that's, I feel like that's most of our scared in the dark, is that we consider this a possibility that's out there, and
Yeah.
that's what mostly triggers our frighten, or our our scared in the darkness, is that there's this possibility of another predator that does we don't know if it exists, but there's still this possibility that it does. So I think our animal instincts already kick in at the possibility of a threat lurking in the dark. But that's what I think, you know. We understand way more than sheep. Sheep know there's a wolf. You know, they know wolves exist. They're scared of that wolf in the dark. We get scared of the things that could possibly exist. You know, sheep don't get scared of ghosts. You know, because they don't think of that shit. You know, we just think of the things that could exist, of the threat that could be out there in the dark, whether that's fucking ghosts, monsters, whatever the fuck you want to talk about. We have this wild imaginations that let us fucking get scared of fucking things that don't really exist, that we just have a possibility of thinking that exist.
What if those actual experiences that you're talking about, or the fucking fears, what if they are like past experiences from an old life, and that's the reason why we're so scared that they might happen, is because we've learned from a long time ago to avoid those certain things, and they're kind of like echoes of what happened like long ago. Like, what if? You know what I mean?
Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a fucking good point.
You know what I kind of find weird nowadays, right? Well, not nowadays, but it always been so skeptical for me, right? You know how you can't sleep or whatever. You can literally predict the future, and it will happen like someday.
That's
I actually have that. That
Deja
runs in my
vu.
family. So actually, my grandmother, my mom, and my me, like on our mother's
you
side,
dick.
we have like actual like prophesying dreams of shit that actually happened. I don't know if you noticed this or if you remember this. Anybody that met me before COVID, I had nightmares after nightmares and nightmares of people screaming in terror, things all going to hell, like a month, or like not even like 2-3 months before COVID happened. Does anybody remember that? And then COVID happened. I haven't had those kind of dreams since. Nothing.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you kept saying, something bad's coming.
Something bad. And remember, I said it was big. Like, I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening, but it's big, big. Do you remember that? So
do.
that happens. That's my whole mom's side of the family. That stuff happens, and I have no idea why. I don't have like the slightest clue of why it happens, but it happens.
Is it because you're a Blackfoot?
No.
What?
It might be your heritage.
We have Native American in our blood. That doesn't mean shit. Nothing. It might, but because it's and it's only been on the woman's side. So for some reason it like joined me, and I don't know if you notice I'm kind of feminine a lot. in a lot of things I do. So I don't know
Faggot.
if that actually like fucking transfers over. Like on a serious note, I don't know. Like,
No,
but
I find that, like, did you ever grow up without an abusive father figure?
no.
Like a father figure, exactly. So you didn't really have a father figure to look up to. It was the same for me. I grew up like really effeminate until I got like a stepdad,
Mhm.
like a proper one.
I
Because
grew up effeminate
I-
because my dad didn't acknowledge me.
exactly, you have nobody else to base your knowledge or opinions off of
I'm
except
manly
women.
as fuck.
All right, bitch.
Dude, I don't know still. How can I predict shit and it actually comes true? Like, there's something needed to be explained.
Well,
Yeah, but not everybody
The-
can do
the-
it. That's like the phenomenon.
Because like I'll be predicting shit out of nowhere. 5 minutes later, it happens. When I sleep, it actually happens.
see, I can do like, statistical guessing,
Mm.
like, oh, this
Educated
person's
guesses.
going to come out with a sheet of paper and just fucking scream at us.
Yeah.
Next 5 minutes later, he comes out with a sheet of paper and he's fucking yelling at us. Okay, cool. That's just because habits, behaviors, things are picked up on, things that they do. But when I started doing the shit where I dreamed, and then like 3-4 weeks down the line, I remember the dream because in the dream I'm doing the exact same thing that I'm doing in that moment at the exact same place. That's the
But
weirdest shit.
I do have
this,
things like
this,
that,
right?
but they're years apart. Like honestly.
I
Sorry, go
think
ahead.
this is deja vu.
Yes.
Don't get me
No.
wrong.
Right.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
deja
what I
vu.
said. It's like deja vu.
I think deja vu is often dreams that we don't remember, right? And if you remember a moment of your dreams, and you get that exact moment while you remember, while you still remember, because you forget most dreams, right? You dream constantly, but you forget most dreams,
Yeah.
most of them, and sometimes you get this moment, and you're like, holy shit, wait, I've been through this moment already, but that's just a dream that already happened. You just forgot about the dream. You just remember suddenly in the moment that it's like it already happened.
Hmm.
But that's the dream that you forgot. And the things I think you guys are talking about are the dreams that you remember, but they're still happening. So it's kind of like a deja vu that you remember. So you're like, maybe this is like you predicted it, but it's not. It's just
Well,
deja
yeah,
vu
they,
that you
they would
remember.
be remembered because you predicted them. Like,
Yeah,
it stays in your mind because that's how things work.
yeah.
You
no,
remember the important things.
but is it predicting or
There's
is it
an
like
actual theory actually that might coincide with this, that we're already dead. We're just remembering like our past. Like you
yeah,
know what I'm
that's
talking about.
what I've heard, yeah.
There's a big theory that because we have deja vu and so many things, it's because like we're remembering our past. In our past, you know.
Yeah.
And
We're
But I
already
feel
dead.
like
We're
I'm
just
watching Supernatural all over again.
no, we don't talk about that show.
no, that's just shit. Sorry to all you
Shut the fuck up,
Supernatural
Josh.
fans out there, but get a fucking life.
Yeah.
I kind of like Supernatural now.
Never watched it, so
You
I
know
like
the
the earlier
scariest
series.
dreams, right?
The later series are bullshit.
I only
Yeah.
watched. I didn't
Yes.
even finish the first season.
I'm grabbing another.
Any
By the way.
any of yous ever watched the show called Grimm?
Yes.
Grimm is
Yes.
the werewolf dude, right? And shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel I watched the start, but I didn't.
Do I
finish it.
remember it? Not at all.
No, I don't remember it. At
You know,
all.
so you know what's the scariest dream ever, right? To have is when you wake up inside of a dream and started repeating that dream all over again. And it feels like you're inside of like a JoJo stand.
Have
Called-
you? Well, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Have you ever woke
Golden
up
Wind,
inside of a
Requiem.
dream and you're still dreaming? Like
Yeah.
you got out of
Inception
bed.
type shit.
Yes,
Never had
exactly. Have you ever
That is
done that?
wrong.
I do that, and like by the fourth, because it's not only once; it happens like 4 or 5 times when it does. And I'm in a different area, right? And I'll wake up, I'm in another fucking area. I'll wake up, and maybe I'm in like my past house, and I'll wake up, and then I'm back here, dreaming about my past house.
No, I haven't
Bro.
had that. I have had a dream where I just woke up. I haven't had a dream before that, but I had a dream where I just woke up in my bed. And you just sit there and you wake up and you're like, okay, this is real, because you wake up in
You
your
do
bed.
the normal routine, and you're
Yeah,
like, you scratch your balls, you touch your hair,
yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, I
shit
can
like
feel
that.
things.
You wake up in your dream. Not like I had a dream before, like you guys. I feel like you guys had a dream and then you woke up, but that's another dream. In my dream I just woke up. That's the thing I remember. And I remember being on my phone and shit. And because that's what I always do when I wake up, right? I check my
You
phone
check your
how late
phone.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so in that dream I woke up, I check my phone, do the standard shit. It feels like it's real life, like you actually woke up. And the first thing I notice is that there's this man besides my bed, right? Which is fucking weird. But I was still really sleepy, so it all felt so weird to
Hey,
me,
Dad.
I've got something to add after this conversation.
All right, so
So right, fucking, oh, dude, the worst one that I had, waking up inside a dream, right? I woke up from my bed, right? And then I just wake up again from the same bed, repeating it all over like 30 times.
Straight up Inception.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then all I hear was my cousin's voice saying like Joshua, and that was all I remembered.
So I have something to
And then
add
I
on to
actually
this.
woke up in the real world and like panicking. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
where's Flix? Flix is there for me, but I don't know where he is. Flix, go ahead.
But speaking of waking up with things next to you, sleep paralysis.
I've never
I
had
was
that.
just about to say that.
Yeah.
Who
Abby
has
has that
ever
as well.
experienced it, and why is it like the scariest shit known to man?
The thing is, sleep paralysis, the last time I had it was like astral projection. Like I saw my body on the bed, but I was outside of it. It was pretty weird.
Taco, if you say something dumb,
I muted her
please.
because I'm streaming this. So it's not a joke. I just want to keep this going, and I really don't want us to get off topic. So
Yeah.
actually,
But anyway, sleep paralysis.
yeah,
Yeah, sleep
it's
paralysis.
said that the reason why you see a bunch of shit is because your brain is trying to scare itself to wake you up.
Yeah.
And
Because you're trapped in your own mind.
regardless of that
Really?
aspect, even if you're scared, you shouldn't be able to see yourself. Like, you can imagine yourself, but there are people who have exact specific details about themselves that are 100% accurate. So that's why I actually believe that you leave your body for a little bit.
Yeah. It's like I
And
had
the
a
thing is, I
very
didn't wake
recent.
up afterwards. Just it didn't happen.
Sir, we have a talking stick here, all right? You wait until people are finished. Damn it.
But yeah,
But okay.
I had a very recent sleep paralysis like experience. It was like very recent, like last week,
Mm-hmm.
and I was stuck in my bed for 2 hours, and I woke up in a massive cold sweat. Like I don't exactly remember what like the paralysis was about, but all I remember is me. It was like 11 a.m., but in my paralysis mind, it was like midnight. And there was just these fucking arms just coming from like all of the depths of the shadows, just grabbing me and pulling me apart. And I was like just stuck in this torment for like 2 hours. And that's all I remember. There was obviously more to it. Things were said. I don't remember them. But that was about it. And I woke up in like the world's biggest cold sweat. And I was actually panicking so much that I basically nearly had a heart attack. That's one of the biggest problems with sleep paralysis is that you can have a heart attack.
So I
The sleep-
remember I was talking to fucking Ray about this type of shit, right? I told him well, he said it was like some weird sleep paralysis, right? I couldn't move my body at all, not even my eyelids.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember there, just like hearing and all this type shit. I was like conscious, but my body couldn't even work.
Okay, but sleep paralysis.
Paralysis.
Paralysis? What?
It's
Okay,
okay.
Sleep
English
sleep
is not your
paralysis
native language.
is basically waking up
Yeah.
in the midst of your busiest dreaming session, right?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what sleep paralysis is. It's you waking up in the busiest moment of your night, of your sleep, where you dream about the heaviest shit, right? Because there's this moment in your sleep where you're just shut down completely, right? And sleep paralysis is the moment you wake up in that moment, and your body like your brain still thinks you're asleep,
Yeah, I was
right?
told like your body is like awake, but your brain isn't.
Yeah, exactly. So, um, so like I feel like that's just another thing is where sleep paralysis is just because there's a lot of moments where people talk about okay, I'm where they can control their dreams as well, right? Where they
Right.
realize they're dreaming and they can control it.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's
But
something I
I've
want to learn.
That's what I would want to learn as well, where you like look at your shit and you just see that you're dreaming and something. But also heard good shit about sleep paralysis, right? That people can imagine whatever they
Mm-hmm.
want when they wake up.
Yeah.
Because there's not always bad sleep paralysis. There's some cool moments in it as well,
Oh
right?
no,
So you're
I've had
telling
my
me
fair
that I can
moments of
imagine
good
what my
paralysis.
I'm
One
sorry.
at a time, boys. One at a time.
I was just saying I've definitely had my good moments of paralysis.
Yeah, but these are like so these these things are dreams. They're their thoughts. They're just your brain not functioning with your brain or with your body correctly, right? Your body's
Mm-hmm.
awake, your brain still thinks you're asleep because it needs to sleep, and your brain is just constantly dreaming, and because you're awake, your body's awake, you experience these dreams in real life. That's sleep paralysis, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically sleep paralysis. So you just see these things in real life because you're awake, but your brain still thinks you're asleep. So I don't think much of sleep paralysis. I just feel like it's you dreaming in real life, which is kind of cool. But
So you're
like,
telling me that if I have sleep paralysis, in the good side, I can imagine a succubus?
yeah, you
Nah, I'm
could.
playing.
I mean, you could. No,
You
no, 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 no
could.
joke. You literally could. If you realize you're dreaming and you can control your dreams really well, you literally could. You could literally
I
imagine
do a
yourself
lot of that.
fucking
I
girl.
do a lot of that. It's not
I
anything like that. It's just everything around me. It does its own thing, but I can control my body and like in my dreams.
yeah.
I
Uh,
can't.
the only good like sleep paralysis I've had that I can remember was that my body thought that I was awake, so I kept moving a little bit, but in my mind I was like in Hawaii on a beach, and I was just chilling in this long like armchair, and my brain kept thinking that I was just tossing and turning in the armchair, but in real life I was trying to get the fuck up.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So it was like that moment where you have like a loose controller in a video game where you're like you hold left for a millisecond and he just keeps going left. It's just like 10,000 milliseconds of lag. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. I really want to experience sleep paralysis. Not
Trust
it's
me,
not
if you
like I
get the bad
want
one,
to.
you don't.
No, 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 exactly. It's not like I want to, but I want to know what it feels like. It's that curiosity that is inside me that I want
The
to know
worst
what it
thing
feels like.
is, it doesn't feel like anything. It feels like you're sleeping, but you're having the world's worst night terror that you are believing is real.
Yeah.
That's all it feels like. It feels like sleep where you're getting no rest. It feels
Right.
like it feels like your body's off. Like you can't control it anymore. It feels like you've just lost all function from below here. Feels like you're a cripple.
That's dope.
It is
So I
kind of
remember
cool,
What's
one
but
of
wrong
my
with
it's
you?
awful
friends
at the same
were.
time.
Oh, sorry. So I remember one of my friends was telling me that when he got sleep paralysis, he straight up woke up seeing like a fucking demon pinning him down
Shadow people.
without any muscle and
That
tension.
that's
And it was
actually
like
mean.
screaming at his ears, like
Hey yo, that's
No,
like
wild.
no, 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 no.
no, no,
That's like the actual stereotypical thing, and
Yeah.
that's why in old folklore, that is actually what they believe is happening. Is the demon is holding you down, And that's what
stealing
when
yourself.
when you're in that separate reality and you can see yourself, that's usually what a lot of people see is something holding you down.
They can hold me down.
Can you knock it off? I'm streaming.
Fuck up, succubus.
Hey, bro,
I'm
let the
glad
man be
nobody.
horny. He's
I'm
got
glad
the
nobody
horny
can
pack.
see you. I'm glad
Hey,
no
yo.
one can see you.
Hey, yo, let them see me, bro.
No, no.
I never
the pussy like-
experienced sleep paralysis, right?
Pop that pussy.
But when I heard people saying like they had sleep paralysis, my first thought was that they were like a fucking phantom seeing their actual body with the fucking demon pinning them down.
Hot.
A lot
Like
of people
if they
don't
were
call them
dead.
demons. Actually, a lot of people call them shadow people.
Yeah,
Yeah, why shadow people though?
Because they
they're
don't really
shadows.
have a face or anything.
Think of what the fuck are they called from Harry Potter?
Dementors.
Dementors. Yes.
That's what most people describe them to look
Ones
like.
that
You know,
suck
just
your life
shadows.
out.
Yeah.
Hey
just-
yo, then what if the director of Harry Potter or like the creator or something actually had a sleep paralysis and he
J.K.
created
Rowling?
yeah, and he created the
She.
Dementors that look like those shadow.
Well,
And she's a straight up
No.
lesbian.
Hey yo, she's lesbian, bro. I suddenly
She
dislike
is-
Harry
she
Potter.
Is, she's also atheist, I think. I believe it doesn't matter. You can be whatever you want, but still,
I don't like Harry Potter anymore. Fucking faggots.
She is a feminist, and good for women and all that shit. But like, there's an extent of feminism that I just don't like, where some women just think men
love-
are useless.
let's
people.
not go from philosophical to political.
Right. We're still. Hey, we're streaming, buddy.
Oh, good,
By the
man.
way, just saying.
Yeah,
So,
I forgot
we're
about
just
that
deep in
before
conversation.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
really
was telling
forgot about
Darko. I was telling Darko.
Oh,
Oh, the
Ralph.
Ralph. Fine.
Yeah.
Ralph
Oh,
is-
you guys are streaming?
Yeah,
Ralph is a
I'm not streaming a game. I'm just streaming us chatting because a lot of times, like, I'm like, man, I wish I could rehear that, or I wish people could hear the things we talk about, because we say a lot of shit, but when we're sober as fuck, nothing comes up. We're just like cricket, and then when we drink, we're like, yo, what if marshmallows is actually dragon semen?
These are like stoner
Bro,
conversations.
no wonder it's so
I
fluffy and
can
cloudy.
add weed. I have edibles, but I don't.
Hey
So, you know
yo,
what's
I
funny,
want
right?
edibles, bro. I want edibles, bro. I wanna get
Stoners,
high.
Shut your
like
Dutch
when you're
ass up.
actually stoned,
Okay.
you cook better than the average person at cooking. Like you can make a normal sandwich taste bomb if you're like a stoned person.
I'm gonna bring this back to the philosophical side. They say that actually marijuana, the reason why you space out is because your brain expands.
Yeah.
Yo, so you're telling me marijuana makes me smarter?
No, not exactly smarter. It just makes
It
you
makes
be
your
able to
brain
think
big.
easier and more elaborate.
You know why that is, though, from a scientific chemical standpoint?
Why?
That's because it increases blood flow to the brain.
Yeah.
Why do you think when you become high, you don't like move well, you don't see well? It's because you've not got blood going anywhere, bro. The most you're gonna get is a fucking boner that's half gone.
Ah.
Hey yo, does marijuana help your brain? Like, if I study while I'm
No.
high,
No.
does it help me?
Mm-mm.
It does not help. Like,
Then what the fuck do you mean with making my brain bigger, bro?
it just like increases the amount of blood flow to the brain, so it just expands in size.
But it doesn't make me
This is
smarter.
a scientific theory. This isn't like actually, a
Proven.
thing.
Yeah, but you add scientific,
everybody's
so I
different.
believe it.
Basically what he's saying
Everybody's
is your
different,
brain
that's
is,
why.
like, basically swollen.
Can I have a foot
No,
long with cheese, please?
not swollen. I mean, like, so think about you're in a narrow hallway, right? And you go to
Yeah.
take an edible. An hour later, that hallway starts to expand, and you can put more things inside of it. However,
Like,
you
think of
can't
an
exactly
astronaut.
find what you're looking for because it's expanded.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Yeah, I get what you mean. No, that's
Okay.
good. That's a good metaphor. That's a good
Mhm.
like this.
Thank you.
Nice. Don't do marijuana on your math test.
No, no,
If
I
you're
Do
promise.
marijuana.
One of
Do
the other scientific things is if you smoke weed at a certain age, your brain stops developing, so your mindset stays in that
I
age
don't believe
sense.
that. I don't believe
But
that.
it's
I
a
don't believe that
weird
either.
theory, which I do not understand, but, it's
Bro,
out there.
every weed smoker sounds like a 50-year-old philosophical failed scientist, let's be honest.
Mm.
True that.
What are we? We
I-
haven't even smoked anything. We just drank, and now we're just like, you know what?
You know what's the weird part though is that smart people are always the ones that believe in these fucking shit, right?
Mhm.
Is that Elon Musk believes? I feel like I think he believes in like that we're all in a simulation. Does he not?
No,
I feel like he
so
said
No,
something
basically
but
what
it
about
he
that.
is a
said is that
majority
if we were
thought.
in a simulation, it would be 1 out of 4 trillion that there's a simulation going on with our lives.
What if
No.
that's a thing, though? What if that's a reason why reincarnation exists? Is because when we die, we wake up from the simulation and
Game
we go
over.
into another one. We go into another pod and start all over, but we
Yeah,
don't
you just see
remember.
the text "Game over."
But I
Restart.
wouldn't.
Press A.
Game
Sword Art
over.
Online style, straight up.
Restart. Press A.
No, but
Use.
like, think about it. Think about it. Like
Yeah,
that
no.
could be a possibility, but like we wouldn't. We don't know. We
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
that's the
How
scary.
would, but how would you react to that if you die in real life and see the words "game over" with restart yes or no? How would you
No, but listen,
react?
listen,
Ah,
Josh.
fuck! I
Listen,
ran out of tokens. That's how I'd
listen.
react.
That's where you're wrong. Because you say if you die in real life, but the moment you see game over, it's not in real life
You die
anymore.
in a game. You die in real life.
Okay.
Bro, what is this? What is this, bro? Is this anime? Are we in anime right now, bro?
No,
I
No,
think
bro.
we're
we're
not.
in
We're not.
SAO
Bro.
now.
What I
Wait
think.
a minute.
I'm just gonna say something completely stupid and it's gonna get absolutely nowhere, but I'm just gonna say it. What if anime is the fourth dimension?
Hey, yo, shut the fuck up.
Then why is it two
That's
dimensional and
what a
we can
lot
only
of us
see it on the
wish.
screen?
I mean, I wish. I did wish.
What if, like, why is it two dimensional and we can only see it on the screen? What? How is
Because
that?
that's the only way we can
Is that
perceive
the
it.
only
But
way? Yeah, we could. The only way we could perceive it, but
we can only perceive it in 2D, but anime is not a creation. Anime is the fourth dimensional beings living in a two-dimensional space.
So here's the thing.
I'm just completely spitballing. I don't believe any of the shit
What
that I'm
if
saying.
a
I'm
video
just
game
smart.
is us opening another reality that actually exists? We just don't think it does because we're so used to it.
Yeah, but basically every reality could exist. If you're talking about parallel universe, right? There's so
Infinite
many
realities. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So every possibility could exist, right? If you're talking about
Hmm.
every fucking video game there is, that could be a reality. True. Obviously, probably not. But if there is infinite realities, there could be a fucking reality where I don't know, magic is real, right? If you're talking about it, maybe,
Yeah.
Well,
probably
I've
not. I
told
don't
you
believe
about
in that shit.
cosmic. I've told you about cosmic bruising, and
Yeah, where you're rubbing against your balls and shit.
no, that's not.
Bro, I'm
No,
rubbing my balls on the
I
moon, bro.
honestly believe in magic because there are some things that happen in life that you can't explain. There are people who can do things in life that you can't explain. Like the other day, I saw a fucker pull out a burger out of a bag, a whole ass thing of fries, and then right in front of his hands, he pulls out a straw out of a little cup and it flies into his hand. Like that's there's no strings attached. That's a public restaurant. How is he gonna do that? How is he gonna pull out?
How he's gonna pull out? I mean, I know
How
how
is he
some ways
gonna
how to
pull
pull
out
out.
things out of a bag when the bag was crumpled up and he uncrumples it and he fucking pulls shit out? Like,
I
but
mean,
then again, what if the reason why that stuff happens is because people figure out how to reach into the fourth dimension and pull things out and bring it back into the third dimension? Like, what if that's an actual thing?
Dude, you gave me that one fucking game where this girl has a fourth dimensional universe on her purse, can pull out anything from her imagination.
That's not a
What is
fourth
this?
dimension.
Is this Scribble Knots?
I don't fucking
I'm
know.
thinking more Mary Poppins.
Mary
No,
Poppins.
but Mary Poppins is just the infinite handbag of holding.
Yeah, so you can put everything in it. Right?
That's like what
She can't generate things. She can store things.
Yeah. So she can
Scribble
store
Notes
anything.
is generating.
Once you get it quite down past, it's simply quite atrocious.
Oh
Supercalifragilistic
my god, I was gonna say
expialidocious.
something and I forgot. What the fuck?
Oh, join the fucking club. You're not even drinking, so like.
Yeah.
Yeah, pussy.
I'm having Phantom drinks. Phantom drinks is just ghost drinks.
There is actually a theory, I think, in the placebo effect. I think you could actually increase your alcohol like intake in your body without drinking. Like you know the placebo effect. Like your mind can do many things. Why can't it increase the alcohol levels inside of your blood? I mean, it could.
But I feel like it can. Yeah. So if you feed someone cola, and you tell him like it's a mixed drink, right? And you keep feeding him cola, I feel like there could be a placebo effect where he feels drunk.
There's
something
like that happens to like many people that I've saw as like edibles. They tell them that it's an edible and it's not. It's just a random fucking cookie that they found somewhere on a like. They just got it from Greg's down the road. I don't even fucking know. But they tell him it's an edible, and then about half an hour to an hour later, they start acting like they're high because they think that they're high.
Yeah, that's a placebo shit.
Yeah, that's
honestly,
that's some of the weirdest shit. Either they're the biggest fucking liars and actors in the world.
Yeah.
Or that's actually just.
I honestly think if your brain like was tricked, it could actually combine different chemicals and shit biologically inside of your bloodstream in order to make that a reality.
But that's the thing about magic, though. Don't you believe that the elephant disappeared?
Hey,
Don't you believe that the truck was never crushed?
Hey, yo, so could I hold a napkin against the girl's mouth and make her feel like she's inhaling chloroform?
You would have to believe it. Honestly,
she would have to believe it.
Honestly, I think that's an actual thing, though. I think if we actually believe that something like that actually happened, we could unlock the powers of telepathy. Like, because if you think about it, like, somebody already imagined powers like that. Like, we didn't just pull that out of our ass and be like, oh, that would be nice to have. I believe, because there used to be a show in American TV called People with Real Superpowers. Yeah. And it's an actual thing. And one guy can literally put so much force into his abdomen that a semi rolled over it like nothing. And he just got up and kept walking. Yeah. Like shit like that exists. That stuff's real.
But telepathy can be like semi-real though. But when you
am I thinking of telekinesis? I am.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Telepathy is the passing of thought to another person.
Yeah. I wouldn't like telepathy.
Telekinesis is bending of the mind.
I don't think we need telepathy. We have so many forms of communication. I don't think we need it. I also don't think we need telekinesis either. Because it takes so much willpower to do telekinesis. Why not just do something with your fucking hands? It's the whole reason we have them.
Yeah, but like sex would be so much easier with telepathy.
Yeah, but it would be so energy wasting. Why do it?
But sex is already energy wasting.
Oh, you're just there fucking.
As you just floats.
Oh,
we don't.
I'm good for about a week.
No,
I know there's a theory online, right?
Where imagine
if you are yourself, basically what happens. They were saying in the article or whatever is saying that everybody is one person.
Hive mind.
Different.
Huh?
Hive mind?
Dude, it's going to sound scatterbrain, but please try to follow on. right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all constantly one person, and that one person is always a multiplier to that. I don't know how to explain it. It is so fucking weird
You
how
trying to
this
say
theory
we're
goes.
all children of children, like cousins and shit?
No,
No,
that's not what he's
it's
saying.
like
Get out of here, ancestry.
it's like
You
we're one person in the
Hey, that's the
same
Bible.
universe.
do you mean that we're all like one cell and we're just multiplying and multiplying?
We're all one person with
Yes,
multiple
multiplying as a
lives.
different
We're a multiplying
person.
cell, and every fucking bro, what? Hey yo, how many people are on the Earth right now? Like 7 billion, 7.8 billion.
I don't fucking
7
know. I don't
billion.
care.
We're
I
close
don't keep
to 8
track.
billion right now.
I don't keep track.
Okay, let's say we're 8 billion right now, and in 100 years, maybe we're 16 billion, which means we multiplied in
Bro, we're at
100 years.
7.9 billion.
What if we're
Okay,
just
so
an extreme case of multiple personalities disorder? What
That's like
if?
the-
Like, you
that's
don't
like-
know.
That's one of my biggest fears, that none of you exist.
That-
It's just here.
yes, exactly.
It's just here. Like, I'm just speaking to myself right now. I'm not even speaking into a microphone. I'm just in a room. And this is all just a big dream.
hey yo, that would be dope.
I used
I
to
can
think
forget about
that
you.
everybody. So okay, hear me out, right? You know how we exist, right? Correct.
No.
We all exist.
We exist?
But
What
I
the
used
fuck,
to
bro?
think
What the
like
fuck?
as if we were one person, but everything is just generated.
Mm-hmm.
Computer
So you're
generated?
talking about, like, you have your life, but everybody around you does not exist. It's just a simulation to please you.
Yes.
Y'all are just Minecraft villagers at this point.
I actually thought about that when I was younger. That used to be my thought process whenever I'd look at someone. You've heard of the
It's
cause
like,
and
you're not
effect
real.
chain. I used to have that advanced theory where, not advanced, I don't know why I said that, but I had this theory that if I said something that would change the cause and effect and create events worldwide that would change whatever happens in a situation, which is kind of like the theory of we're in a simulation. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Yeah.
we're in, like, the world's biggest game of civilization.
Right.
Let's
That
be
would be
honest.
Or Sims.
I
Sims
have
would be dope as well.
I have this big ass theory that once I turn off this computer, you guys just blank out of existence until I turn it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird thought,
And
bro.
then you randomly generate back into life. My whole perspective on reality is fucked in my mind, which is a symptom of ADHD. Sometimes it's
Dude, if
But those
If that
that
theory is
dysphagia and
actually true,
stuff actually kicks in with ADHD.
but you have ever have that feeling that life is just feels different or something?
I have the feeling that life's not real.
Yeah,
Reality
but
is just a
I have that
construct of the
sometimes.
imagination. That it's not real.
That sometimes you have these different feelings, right? You sometimes you're like, all right, now I'm down, I'm going with life. And sometimes you have this feeling that everything you do doesn't matter and life isn't real, and that's what I have sometimes, where life isn't real, and I just feel like everything I do and it just feels weirder when you have that realization. Like
Mhm.
everything just doesn't feel as exact as it should. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't mean when you're drunk. Of course, you have the
It
same feeling
feels
when
like
drunk.
everything's offbeat. It's like you do the
Yeah,
exact same you would another day, but
it
it
feels
means nothing.
weirder. Yeah, no, exactly. You just feel like, okay, whatever the fuck just and sometimes you also have these thoughts where you could like survive everything. I don't know. Sometimes I have it. I feel like sometimes I could survive like a four-story fall
I,
without even being hurt.
I have this
Or
thought
like,
about fights actually. Like, if I could go back, like I could actually survive it and things
yeah,
about sometimes I'll play out scenarios in my mind about if I had fought this person, what would I do? What's the next move? Should I dodge it? Things like that.
yeah,
And
maybe.
it's just calculations
Uh-huh.
that differently happen in my mind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just egging each other on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But okay, so if that theory was actually true, if our lives were a simulation and we actually knew and caught on with it, I would be scared for all of eternity. Well, not
Nah, bro.
eternity.
We
Like,
wouldn't need termination. Like, it just like fucking, they would be like, okay, let them live out the rest of their lives, and we'll start it over again. Put, like I said, put you back into like another pod or something, and then
But
it
here's the thing.
resets.
If you are to actually 100% find out, like, you know yourself that this is a simulation right now, who the fuck's gonna believe you?
Yeah, honestly, who would even believe you?
No
They'd look at you
one.
and be like, "You're fucking crazy."
Yeah.
There's a bunch
There's
of
a psych
people
ward.
that believe it's a simulation.
There's a majority of people, but those majority of people get frowned on and looked at like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah, no, I know that. But I think the same of them. I
This
think
is
like,
like
what the fuck is
season
wrong with
6 of
you?
Right.
like what? Okay, it's like season 6 of like fucking Kirito being in a hospital. Well, not hospital.
Bro,
Hey,
stop
Can we
bringing
stop
weird
with the
animation into this.
animating bullshit? Yes, thank
I
you.
was about to say that. Stop bringing anime to
Can we
this.
stop with the anime? Like, we're actually talking about actual theories and things that would happen in life.
No,
that-
like it's connected. Like if we were in a simulation, though. But hold on.
No.
Okay, yeah. But
No, because SAOs and
he's
anime.
definitely you can't
He's
talk to him right now.
definitely. Who the fuck cares? Let's keep going.
Yeah, fuck Josh, bro. He doesn't know
I'm
shit
gonna
about
I'm
that.
gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna do a group vote. Let's drink. Let's
We're
take
drinking?
a shot, drink, whatever you have.
All right.
I have nothing left.
Yo,
No, I have nothing
guys,
left.
what the fuck? Hey,
Bro,
Ray.
I drank 3
Cheers,
quarters of
bro.
this. I've
Cheers.
drank it all.
Cheers, bro.
Like, I've drank everything I had. I drank it straight.
Oh, disgusting, bro. It's actually really
Distill
good.
your
to be
own
honest.
wine.
I just okay.
Piss on a piece of toast and then put it in the sunlight for a day and eat it. You will hallucinate. That's an old prison trick.
Sorry. Piss on a
Piss on a
piece of
piece of
toast?
bread and then put it in the sun for a day and it'll mold and that's a hallucinogen. And that's
Yo,
what
bet.
people do
Is
in
that actually
prison.
true?
It could kill you, but it's also, if you survive it, it's a really high hallucinogen.
Bro,
It
I could
could
always just
kill-
go make
Hey.
prison wine.
It could kill you is already way
You
want to
make toilet wine?
bro.
Well, why? Why is it a risk? Just go into another pod.
It could kill you. All right. Can you fucking even understand?
Go
your own
into
words?
another pod.
Shut the fuck up. If the risk was you could get sick, I'd be like, oh no, that's fine.
You could.
Gotta go
But
piss on some bread.
It's not
You're
a
over
high
here-
chance of death.
You're over
You
here being
can't
like,
100%
it could
die of
kill
mold.
you.
You can't 100% die of mold, honestly, because that's how your body works. It pukes up whatever is bad for it.
Yeah,
So if
no, I
it was
know,
really
I know.
bad for you, your stomach would be like, no, I can't handle this, and it would puke it up.
All right, no, fair enough. I mean,
Just
Yeah.
like the showers in concentration camps, their bodies were like, oh, no, I'm kidding.
hey yo,
That's-
going
no,
to
no,
deep,
no.
Going to deep,
Concentration
going too
slugger is
far.
not a thing that we want to talk about.
Do
6
we not?
million, show me the proof, huh?
I never
feel like
met any of them.
Do you not feel like Hitler did the world a favor though? Let's be
No,
honest.
no. I actually believe he was a bad guy. Actually, and
No, I do believe
it does
that, but I
affect
feel like-
my family like 100%.
No, but I do feel like he made a lot of progress in technology and let's say, right? What if
German
those-
science. That's all I can think about when I think about World War II. Is like
Mm.
how much the Germans actually progressed the world of science.
Yeah,
Why does it bring
so
me
that's
back
one
to
thing,
JoJo?
right? And the second thing is all the killing of Jews. Religion really slows down technology. Definitely in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Definitely in the past.
If we didn't have religion, we would be like maybe 100 years into the future scientifically.
Yeah, That's what I mean. Because everyone would be trying to figure out how shit works instead of like, oh my God, we don't know how this works. Let's blame it on God
Back
because God
then,
knows.
in the actual Bible days, I just want to add on to this that a lot of people who actually discovered space and that thought that we weren't just in a little fucking
Yeah.
snow globe that God made.
Uh-huh.
Shut
Mm-hmm.
up. Fucking, it was an actual like thing that they would kill you. Like that was blasphemous. Like
Yeah, it's
discovering the
crime.
fucking world. Like what?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
You know how
So
much
like
we
if
could have advanced? Like I
know.
actually I do think that that's why the Egyptians got so far.
Because
But
they
the
didn't have a
Egyptians
religion.
believed.
It's
They
because
did
they didn't
though.
persecute you if you believed in something. Like you just went on with your day, and like if you wanted to glorify something,
Oh, something like that.
you made it like glorified on the thing that you were creating. But you didn't kill anybody for their beliefs. Like you had thoughts of like bad gods and good gods and all that. But you still went on doing what you did.
Mm, I don't
Like,
know, bro.
imagine telling a Christian back when, Jesus Christ was supposedly there, banging women, doing his shit, that Egyptians in the future would come to reveal that they believed in like 60 different gods that all had different sections in life, like the Greeks did. Like how they had, well, this is just mythology, but people actually believe that they existed, like Zeus and Poseidon and gods of the sea and the sky, and, similar to the way the Egyptians did. What if God didn't exist because there was multiple gods?
But that's the
It's
thing,
just,
right? Because like people, there's a lot of people that say like, listen, religion could be true because every religion talks about this one God that's sending prophets to Earth, and everyone's being like, okay, yeah, bruh, yeah, because it makes no sense that God is fake because every religion talks about the same thing, but then they forget about the fucking fact that Greek mythology talked about multiple gods. They talked about Egyptian gods being multiple gods. They're talking like Islam and shit. Allah, one God that sent Prophet Muhammad to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Christianity is like just this one God that sent Jesus to Earth. And they'll be like, oh, but it can't. It has to be true because there's like this one God, and they always all talk about this one
and
God that sent a prophet to Earth. We just
can
have
we just
yeah.
can we just realize that all of those religions that we have just discussed that are relatively the same, like Islam and Christianity and Catholics, they
Yeah,
all come
they're
from the
all
Middle East.
yeah, but they're all
Jesus was
decently the
Middle
same.
Eastern, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
uh,
decently the same, right?
I just have like a truth bomb that I really want to drop on you guys. So,
Yeah.
if there are no other gods in Christianity and all that, so why is it in the Ten Commandments that the Ten Commandments say trust or believe in no other god, for I am a jealous God? How are you gonna get jealous of something that doesn't exist?
exactly. But the fact that all of those religions come from one area in the planet seems like one big scheme to me. It just feels that way.
Do
It's
you,
like they all come from the Middle East.
Yeah.
every actual religion has an account of Noah's Ark, the flood?
Yeah,
Every religion, like Egyptian, a god put them in a box. Like Christianity, put them on a boat. Other religions,
Greek
I don't know
Greek
what.
gods, no?
I don't.
Greek
Yeah,
gods?
there's a fucking theory for that as well. But it's just, how are you gonna say that like you shouldn't worship any other gods if they don't exist? Why? I do believe in that there might be elder gods and things like that. Like that's a
I don't
thing.
believe in that.
You don't believe in it.
I don't believe in gods or anything. I don't feel in a mighty superior being that's out there. I don't believe in all that shit.
I don't believe in it, but I'm not one to say that it doesn't exist.
No, no, no. That's what I'm like. I don't believe in it because I don't feel like I can believe in it. I wish I could believe in it because I feel like a superior being would explain a lot of shit in our life, right?
Yeah,
Our existence, and so I wish I could believe in it, but I don't feel like there's any God out there
I don't
because
think they're
how
gods.
much we find. with how much we're finding out about science and the cosmos and everything about the galaxies around us and where they are and where they're located, I can just look at the data and I can go, well, where the fuck's God?
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
don't think
exactly.
that
I
that's.
agree with Flix on this.
I don't think they're gods. As I explained earlier, I think it's literally fourth dimension, fifth dimensional beings that are able to like actually reach into the third dimension and alternate our reality, alternate things that are in our dimension. You know what I'm talking about? Like, because
But
again, our brains can't comprehend it because we can't see it. So it says in the Bible that like if you were to look up on actual God, like you would die. So, as I said, what if it's like our brain actually goes to comprehend it and then we like transfer into the fourth dimension? Things like that. You know what I mean? Because then our brain can actually understand it, our brain can replicate it, and that's what causes us to not be three dimensional anymore. We become fourth dimensional.
but can we
What?
look into the second dimension,
We
like
can,
Yes.
2D?
yes, we can look at
Because
two.
we
We
can look
can
at
look.
flat things.
Yeah,
We
you ever look
can,
at what's on a
but
sheet of paper? That's two dimensional.
yeah, exactly. But do we ever see a sign of life in 2D space? Do we see a different sign of life that actually exists only in 2D space?
We
We
do.
don't.
We see what we created.
Yeah, but that's what we created. Like we could draw on a piece of paper. We see what we create in
Do you
2D
see
space.
cells?
There is no life that is 2D.
But cells is also 3D.
Mm-mm. It's two dimensional. Have you ever seen a
Cells?
cell reach up to here? No, you have to put it on a flat surface in order to see it.
Yeah, but that's because
The
But
only
there's
way that it makes up three dimensional is if multiple of them, and I mean like millions of them, come together. I think one dimensional might actually just be atoms.
One dimensional is not even, it's just a line.
Yeah.
Like a line of atoms. That's it.
I'll be right back. Nobody say anything racist because I am streaming.
all right. I'll take them.
Don't say it.
I was just gonna say, like, what if dying is you gaining so much knowledge that you pass on to the fourth dimension?
So what? Every stupid person lives longer.
Maybe, or every stupid person is actually the brainiac of the world. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. But that wouldn't explain why people in the past lived shorter. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
people in the past lived
we all
shorter.
know that what I'm saying is bullshit. It was just something to go on with.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. It could be a cool case though, if people that lived longer lived longer would be, or maybe it's the opposite, where the people that know more would live longer than the people that know less, and that's why people in the past died sooner because
Well,
they knew less.
the reason why people died in the past sooner was because they had no medical.
Yeah, no,
That's
exactly. So
it. They didn't know much about the medical field and how to treat themselves. So yes, they had less knowledge.
yeah, exactly. So it's all about knowledge, right? The more knowledge you have, the longer you live. But there's no really knowledge about living longer, is there?
Do you
There's
think the
no, like,
creation of knowledge is actual energy? And the fact that we can't create or destroy energy?
well, what do you mean with energy? Like, what kind of energy do you mean?
What? Energy.
Well, yeah, but
No.
what kind of
You said, like, what if knowledge is energy?
Yeah. We can't create or destroy energy, right? We can only just transfer it.
Yeah, but we can find out new energy.
We can't create or destroy matter.
Matter. Okay.
We can create energy through kinetic, through all that stuff. Like, we can put two rocks together and, spark a light, create a fire.
Two cocks?
Yeah.
But that's the combination of those things together. Nothing's really added, is it? It's still the same.
No, because you use the heat to create the energy. Yada yada
Oh,
yada.
okay.
Like, that's how energy was first created. It was like heat and kinetics and.
Bro, I gotta
Then go piss, bro.
I'll be right back. I gotta piss so.
I've run out of ideas. It's giving me a headache.
I don't know. There's so many things in this life that actually fascinate me.
The only thing that really fascinates me is space. That's it.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well,
that's
that's
the one
because
thing
it's
I want to
unexplored.
experience.
Like we've only explored what's around us. We haven't
The,
explored anything.
the
So,
weirdest thing, right,
hmm
is that we know more about the surface than the moon than we do the deepest parts of our oceans, and that's what scares me.
so here's a question: aliens, right? You know, alien only just means foreigner, not around here. What? Why do people think that aliens are like these weird ass creatures? Why can like? Do you think that like they're not just us from somewhere else? What depicts that? What depicts that they're these types of creatures that
Well,
we
then
have?
it's just humans as species. One person says it looks like this, and then another person believes that, and they say it looks like this, and word of mouth goes stronger
So
as it gains
rumors,
popularity.
more than
So
likely.
people who created movies and depicted aliens in such a matter left a lasting imprint on people's minds on what aliens would look like. So you'd see movies like Paul or movies like E.T., where like they have big heads, big eyes, and all this other stuff. But if you look back into like how aliens were depicted in early on movies,
Hmm
they were pretty much the same. So trends don't change within humans, and this is a problem with humans that people have been finding is that people don't want to change. People want to believe what they know, or they so-called know.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. What? So kind of like what I was saying just a minute ago. Why do they have to be different? Why do they have to be different than us? You know, obviously their language might not be the same. They might not have the same point of communication.
Yeah, but that's
But
the thing that nobody knows.
yeah,
Nobody knows if
well,
there's anything out there like us.
what if they do look like us though? What is going to be our thought?
Holy shit.
It's us.
Holy shit, it's an alien.
Well, if we've survived and we've evolved to the point of what we look like, what's to say they're not just evolved forms of us?
Maybe. What if
Yeah,
evolution is the exact same cycle across the board?
Yeah. What if,
but yeah, but
what if
that
it's
depends
just
on the
linear?
planet.
What if
That
it's just
depends on the
linear?
planet.
Yeah. No. But I'm talking about because there's so many planets that are like ours that are habitable. Why do
No, but
aliens
it
have to look
also
different? Why do people think that they look different?
no, you're right, but it also depends on gravity, right? Because if
Mm.
gravity is like 3 times ours on that planet, bro, their legs are gonna be buff. They might have developed 4 legs, just to stand correctly,
Yeah, but there
all
is
that
stuff
shit.
like that.
Just the slightest
Atmospheric
thing.
pressure,
It's also a
Exactly.
gravity.
point of solar rays. You know how we're
Yeah,
tan or we even
exactly.
have skin color and we're not transparent.
The
Yeah,
slightest thing could make a difference. A
it's a
huge
thought.
difference.
It's a big thought.
But just to think of that one in a million, if we were to come across an alien that looked exactly like us, they wouldn't be alien, they would be human.
Right.
They would be speaking a language we don't understand, but they would be human on every biological and like atomical level because they had the exact same evolution path. That would make them one of us from a different planet.
Who's to say that that evolved species isn't human? What if like people that we were like, oh, they're creatures. What if they're just evolved forms of us? Like it's a
I
thing
feel like
of
they
like
wouldn't.
mermaid men, mermaids, and mermen.
Humans
It's
that
a thing of
adapted to
that.
water.
Those yes, exactly. Like people have evolved to like swim in water. Like it's a thing like up in like certain mountains around the world. We have blue people. We have people of different color. We have his face distracted me. He's fucking biting his lip like the drunk cunt he is. Anyways, it
Well, even if
fascinates
they
me.
looked like us, even if they looked like us and evolved like us, I
Mm,
don't think they would be considered human. All right? in my opinion.
You don't think they would be
And
human?
no,
What if they're made up the exact same, like biology? They have blood, they have DNA, they have cells, like red cells, white cells, brain power, like spinal nerves. They have everything the same. Are they not human?
Do you think they'd be
No.
Just
Homo
because they came
sapien?
from another planet.
Do you
yeah,
think they'd be
exactly.
Homo sapien though?
They
Because
they,
it's a
they could
thing
be
like
considered as Homo sapien,
there are things
but
close to us. Yeah, like monkeys share 99.9%
yeah,
DNA, but
exactly.
that 0.1% change is what makes us be able to talk and all that.
But
However,
we also share like 40% of our DNA with a banana, though.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, that's only
that's
5.
that's
But
too. I was about
anyways,
to mention that. But like,
but see, the thing is, they can still communicate. They are capable of sign language, and we have body language. Just about every species has body language. Like, even cells interact through body language.
yeah, bitch. But like, listen, I feel like humans would be considered as the main human species as of Earth, right?
Hmm.
The moment we discover another species that is basically the same as us, they would be considered as another species from another planet.
But
Uh,
what if they called themselves humans as well?
well, then it will be just humans from
What if
planets.
they call themselves the norm?
Blah blah.
That's a thing though. Because we call ourselves normal. Who's to say that they wouldn't call themselves normal and call us the
Well,
aliens or us the creatures?
for them, we are the aliens.
Yes,
For
of
us,
course.
they are the aliens. Of
Well,
That
course.
that's
was
what alien means. It means foreigner, not from around here.
No,
that's
yeah,
that
exactly.
one fucking stupid movie. That's that children's movie where it's that one human that goes to the aliens planet, and they're like, "Oh, alien."
Oh,
It's like,
what
no,
is
I'm
that?
human.
I know what you're talking about. It's like from the
Yeah,
same fucking animators as like Up and shit like that.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know what you guys are
yeah,
talking about.
understandable.
But what you guys are talking about is basically what I'm saying, right? Is for them they might be the humans and we will be the aliens, but for us they're gonna be the aliens, even if they see themselves as humans as well. They're still gonna be the aliens for us. And
See,
to us it's just gonna depend like are they further in scientific development or are
yeah.
they more behind? And maybe they're exactly at the same position, but the chance of that is like so low that they're gonna be at the exact same. That there's a
Yeah.
huge possibility that they're either behind or way advanced.
Well, that's the thing about humankind as well. It's like if a human, like no, not a human, an alien race came like just tomorrow.
They'd
Like
be more advanced, you'd know, because they would be the one
Do you
coming.
think they would share their technology with us?
No,
if
no,
they
then
No,
wanted to, I don't think humans would accept it.
certain
I don't
they
kinds.
think.
wouldn't
I,
accept the
I don't.
technology.
But then there's
I
people
don't
like
think.
us who.
I don't think humans as a species. Like think of Americans that are like, I don't need your bullshit. I
Well,
got my fucking Chevy. I got.
see, here's the thing, though. Us humans, that's how we were like evolved to think, is that we don't trust, anybody else's stuff. We trust the things that we made. That's as a species, that's how we were raised. Like, you ever try to give like a monkey a toy or something like that? It's gonna, for the longest time, it's gonna be like, what the fuck is this? I don't trust it, and it's gonna inspect it and just.
No, but I'm talking like if an alien race was to come for the cure for cancer tomorrow, they were willing to give us the cure for cancer. I don't think humans would take it
No, because we would be
because we're
like,
so
what?
stubborn.
What would? Honestly, I some of the medicine that I
Humans as a
have.
species right now are so stubborn and belligerent
Are
in
you
them
you
stuck in their
sure?
own ways.
I feel
Like
like they would accept it.
I feel
Some
like
of the
we wouldn't.
medicine that I take, no,
You
because
know,
I have cystic fibrosis.
And then there would be like people who would accept it and people who wouldn't, and then there would be war outbreaks and all that stuff. People who were earthist and people who are cooperists and
we
well,
just
let's say
have
let
thoughts about what would happen in the long run. That's honestly what I worry about. Is like, yeah,
let's
it
say
works now, but what if in the long run it just doesn't fucking work and it fucking makes us worse than what was there before?
but let's say aliens found us, right? If aliens found us, it obviously would mean that their technology way more advanced than us,
Yeah.
right? Because they
Because
found
they've been
us.
able to travel billions of
E-
light years.
Exactly what I mean. So their technology would be way above us, right? And let's look at Planet of the Apes. I don't know if it's that, but it's where the planet where the monkeys just rise
Yeah.
up against us, right? And in that movie, you saw that we see monkeys as the lesser species, right? It's like it's us, but it's lesser. And our species, you saw in that movie, right? Is that we had fun with the monkeys, like at one point you saw them like give them an AK-47 to one of the monkeys and see that they just having fun with it, they gave a
Oh, I
fucking
get where you're
gun.
going with this.
They're giving a gun to the monkey, and they
Like,
were like,
I
here,
think
just pull the
aliens would
trigger.
treat us like a zoo.
Exactly. They
We
would
would
fucking
be
treat us like
Who's to say
animals.
that we're not?
exactly.
Who's
We
to
could
say
be
that we're
being
not
observed.
contained?
We would be, though. To them, we would be just animals.
If we go to a certain length of space, our spaceships actually blow up.
Ours are literally, we would sound like monkeys to them. We literally be yeah,
Well,
exactly.
yeah,
We'd
because
be
they can't
communicating.
understand our language. They have their
Exactly what I
own.
mean.
Yes, okay.
So we would be the monkeys, and they could give us their technology, but that would be more of like a form of entertainment, like, oh, here, have this, see what you're gonna do with it, just like they gave the monkeys an AK-47, be like, hey, see what you're gonna do with this,
So
and
this
then they
goes
started
this
firing
goes
around,
actually into the same thought of fourth dimensions. If you think about it, because we're contained, but we can't see them. But they can see us, and they can dictate what goes on with us and contain us. I don't
Yeah,
know if
kind
you've
of.
seen The Fourth Kind,
The fourth
Yeah.
kind.
but the fucking alien that comes in and says, I am God, and all that, the actual footage, because there's actual footage of it, it's long and we can't comprehend it. So what if, like, honestly, seriously, what if they are actually fourth dimensional and they're all around us and they're just like, well,
What if that's the key to long space travel? We're trying to use gravity and physics and, you know, astronomers' guides and, star constellations to understand the way the universe is expanding, but what if we've got it wrong all along and we can't physically make calculations to get the universe correct because we're only stuck in three-dimensional, using gravity as our only means to make calculations?
yeah, and
Yeah,
there's
fair
like
point.
several different dimensions that factor into it. We just can't see it.
Yeah, we can't physically understand it because it doesn't make sense to us.
I had a theory about teleportation devices actually being able to use wormholes, because wormholes, if we had one side of a wormhole and we put it like hundreds of light years away, we would be there instantly, because that's how
Welcome back.
wormholes work. But there's also a theory or a factor that it could distort you or like fucking
Rip
stretch
you
you
apart
out and
and
shit
shit.
like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. But what if we learn to like battle against that? You know,
Battle against a wormhole.
not battle against it. What if we learn to null the effects?
Yeah, okay, so that we can counter it, counter the
Counter,
effect.
yes, thank you. Counter the
Yeah.
effects. What
We
if
can
we learn
counteract
that?
the wormhole.
Yes, thank you. But we could still use the effects of the wormhole, not the bad side effects, but we could use
The good effects.
the instant teleportation or the instant
Yeah.
like transportation. What if we could use that?
See,
But
that's
that
just technically a theory already, because what a wormhole does is it just absorbs matter as it is and distributes it through itself.
Well, black holes aren't real. Well, black holes are actually a ton different, but people believe that black holes are a way into the different universes.
No, I see
Because
black holes as the way into a fucking nothingness of darkness, because all it does is it absorbs atoms and matter and everything and just strips it piece by piece and slowly gains mass over time, trapping light and everything that it absorbs. and it's just a plane of nothingness. If you were to get trapped into a black hole, you would die immediately, and you'd be stuck in a plane of white. You would see nothing. You would be nothing.
Hawking, though, had a theory, actually, believe it or not. I don't know if it was Hawking, but I do believe it was, that if we were to actually go through a black hole, the part of us that we could see on this side would die, but you would still live through the other side. It's just we can't see past a black hole because light can't pass through it.
The thing is, how would we still be alive if we're not put together on a molecular level?
We
That's
just
the thing.
wouldn't be alive on
Fuck,
here.
bro.
That's a good.
Because
That's a good thought.
All our molecules and all of our matter would just be absorbed. We wouldn't be recreated. We wouldn't be remolded. We would just be absorbed. That's what black holes do. They just eat and they eat and they eat. They absorb. They take. They fuel. That's all they do.
What's
There's no
determined that we
organization to
wouldn't be
it.
transformed though? Like, what's to determine?
We wouldn't be reorganized into who we are now. Like, it's like them old horror movies of teleportation gone wrong, where like you could be put back together as some fucking disfigured, sick-eyed motherfucker.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing, though. We don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We'll
and
never
that's the
know.
problems of the universe. We'll never know.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Go to bed. Past your bedtime.
It's definitely past my bedtime. I still gotta go out though. I don't know, bro. I feel like I haven't done that much research on black holes, but isn't it just like a giant mass that just has a ton of gravity that pulls you?
It's a very hungry man that absorbs everything around it.
It's the hungriest hippo. Put it that way.
But like, what the fuck happens with you inside it, right? Does it just compress you to like this little...
No. What it does is you would think about you getting turned to sand, like Sandman from Spider-Man 2 or 3.
But what is there in the middle then? Like a huge pile of sand?
Nothing.
Shit
Darkness.
compiled together?
It's
we
darkness.
don't know.
It's just,
we actually don't
matter.
know.
It's just dark matter. It's all it is.
We actually don't know because there's
so
no
hard
visual.
together that
There's
it's
no
dark matter.
visual There's confirmation that what's in the middle.
When two atoms collide, it creates a black hole. Because two things try to become one, which doesn't work, and then boom, this black hole just keeps gaining and gaining matter. That's all it does.
You want to try to become one?
Sure, bro. Let me run at you at like 4 times the speed of light.
You would splat.
Hey, yo, bet.
Like, we can create black holes with a machine. It's not that hard. It's just we need to be able to control them when we create them.
Yeah, which is never gonna... Well, I mean, not never, but...
We can create tiny black holes. Like, won't actually...
There's actually one in our fucking... not even that far away from the world, actually, which could kill us.
What if the core of the Earth is a black hole, and that's keeping the gravity?
It's not. It's magma.
You don't know that shit.
It's magma and certain types of metal. The thing that keeps us together is the mass, which forms gravity.
Yeah, that's what I know. But how we've never been to the center of the Earth, have we?
Of course, we can't.
But then how do we know? Then how do we know there's magma in the middle?
We can't go to the center of the Earth because the pressure is too hard. Pressure is too up there.
But then how do we know this? What's in the middle?
Well, because of the way the Earth works, about how tectonic plates shift due to magma dispersion underneath,
But
the Earth's surface.
What if inside the magma is a black hole?
Bro, stop thinking about a girl's asshole while you do that.
Have you ever seen the Roche limit? Have you ever seen the theory of a Roche limit? It's not actually a theory. It's proven. It's a scientific fact. The Roche limit. So basically, you put two planets together. One is slightly bigger than the other. Because of the gravitational pull from the bigger one, it's going to slowly piece away at the smaller one, which is called a Roche limit. Because it's the limit of how big the other planet can get until it completely destroys the other planet. Knock it off, you fucking fuckface.
How big? Oh,
Stop it.
My phone froze. My phone froze.
Somebody
This is the best,
screenshot
man.
this shit. Somebody
No,
screenshot it.
no, stop.
Quick, quick,
Stop,
quick,
my
quick, quick.
phone isn't working.
I got it.
No, stop. No, my phone is dead. My phone is
Did you
dead,
do it?
bro.
Did you do it? Did you do it? Alright. If somebody ever watches my stream and they're like, yo, what was Nathan's face? I'm gonna be like, hey, here you go.
Oh, bro, this is fucking garbage. Why the fuck did it freeze here?
You look like the biggest fucking fuckboy in the whole world.
Hey, yo, I am the biggest fuckboy in the
Hey,
whole
bro,
world,
I'm getting kind of tired of the philosophy. Let's just turn it back to comedy.
Yeah, bro. I'm down
My
for that.
brain's hurting. Yeah, shut the fuck up, you muted ass bitch. You're not able to talk.
We
Get
can't even
muted,
hear. Hey,
bitch.
Helen
You're-
Keller, shut the
Muted.
fuck up.
Why
Yeah, you're
she-
not able to talk because this is a guys only podcast and you've
Man.
not been drinking, so you've not
Man's
been
night.
allowed.
You're only allowed to talk if you drink.
You know, Josh actually did me a favor. I made him give me a promise, and I said, hey, listen, I don't care about, like, big events and things like that. Please don't drink. Because I started to drink when I was, like, 15, 16, and it fucked me up, and I'm a wreck now. And I was like, listen, man, you will do a lot better if you decide not to drink and not to party like that. Like, if you actually focus on life, you'll do a whole lot better. And so he's been pretty good. He doesn't drink, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful that he respects me as a person that much that he's willing to like not drink at his age. Because he's
Why does he
18,
listen
man.
to you?
Well, I don't know.
Well,
I
hate
don't.
that my fucking thing is frozen.
I don't.
I'm
I
trying to look
don't want to
normal,
say
bro.
that
I'm
he.
trying to look normal.
I don't want to say that he looks up to me or anything, but I do want to say that like
Disable video.
he acknowledges that
Hey, you disabled my video?
I
No, I
was his
disabled
age.
hers.
Oh.
So now she can't even sign language to me. She can fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway, this person does not exist. The podcast will go on.
Alright, nice. I didn't even know you could disable people's videos. I don't like the fact that my screen is frozen on this, though.
I want to figure out how to clip things like this because if I listened to this while I was trying to go to sleep, I would actually fall asleep because I love stuff like this. It's not that it's boring or anything. It just gives me something to think about and slowly drift off. You know what I mean?
I just watch porn, to be honest.
Knock it off. What's wrong with you?
Bro, you so down bad.
I do that for 10 minutes and then I'm like, well, I'm done. Let's watch. Actually, no.
What?
Octopus. Think about it.
Hentai?
No. I know the thing that we were just talking about, but do you know how smart octopi are?
Yeah.
No?
They're able to like pull off lids off of jars and fit through like small ways. Like we've created mazes and things like that because they have like, don't they have like 2 brains?
Yeah.
They have,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
Octopi
They have
are
multiple
actually
brains.
able to see and observe. A human use a pacifier sucky fucking milk bottle thing.
Their
And
eyes
they
are
can
like
use
ours
it
as
in the-
well. Yeah.
They can use it in the exact same way to extract the nutrients, or they can twist the cap off, or they can do whatever they need to. They are quite fucking smart, and it's scary.
Wait, yo, we made a maze underwater for octopus?
No,
We
in
made like a little
tanks.
glass maze.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
little
thank
tank
you. Yeah,
mazes.
in like tanks and stuff like that. And
Oh, yeah, but make them a mirror maze. Let's see if they're so smart that they can go through a mirror maze, alright?
octopi could actually
struggle.
kill you. They can.
Yeah, but I could... Yeah, I know.
We've had scuba divers go down, and it's not all the time. It's most of the time, it's when a fucking diver tries to be an asshole and, like, go into, like, their fucking nesting area. And then the
They look
octopi will be
close to
like, I know you have a breathing apparatus. I'm gonna take that shit off of you. Like, because, like, we don't have no right to, like, fuck with them. And honestly, I understand that, we observe a bunch of shit and things like that. But I think we should just observe it. But we shouldn't, like, get too close to it. It's kind of how,
I mean, yeah, but that's getting close to the nest, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
basically it.
yeah. Well, mama instincts. You know what
Yeah,
mama
exactly what I
instincts are.
mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying. Like, don't interfere with mama. Like, they're
No.
friendly. They even change colors to, like, interact with us and show that they're friendly. But a lot of times, the reason they attack us is because we interfere with them nesting. It's kind
Yeah,
of
no,
fucked,
exactly.
though, because while they nest, they don't eat. They don't. They make sure 100% that their babies are born first and then they die.
They
Kind of like
die
how a
after the
spider
baby is
does.
born?
Kind of like how a spider does, you know?
I don't know how a spider does it, bro. There's only one thing I learned from spiders, and that's if you punch it, like if you punch on them when they're pregnant, little baby spiders come out. And I feel like I learned that from Lord of the Rings.
This man's too wasted.
I'm fucking done, bro.
Most of the time when people punch people while they're pregnant, it just ketchup spurts out from down below.
Bro, imagine how creepy that would be, bro. Imagine if you just fucking stepped on a pregnant lady and fucking 100 babies would just crawl out. Fucking imagine, bro. That would be
Imagine
so
if we
good.
were
It's so
the
good.
one species that didn't take a mammalian way of birth. We took an insect way, so we would like implant eggs and seed,
Oh, that would
not
be so creepy, bro.
like develop an embryo and with cells and stuff. We would
That
just
would be so cool, though.
women would act like fish or spiders and just
Or
Yo,
create.
chicken.
speaking of mammals, have you all seen, like, not the TikTok? Well, it is a TikTok, but there's a video of, like, in Austria or in Australia. The on top of the seed, there's foam and everything, and they're like, wow. And then you see, like, after a minute, the guy is like, that's a fucking sperm whale that just ejaculated to
Yeah,
impregnate another whale. You see that stuff? Like, oh my god.
Wait, listen, let me just say this. Taco, you look like the blonde grudge. Can you please, like, step a little bit away? Because you look like really scary, not gonna lie. Thank you. No idea what you're saying, but I just felt like you really look like a. Listen, I'm not trying to start shit. Don't even know what you're saying. I can't unmute you. I'm just saying the light is really making you look like the blonde grudge. Calm down, all right? Your creepy ass really
Oh,
scaring me the
also,
fuck out.
hey, do me a favor. Don't say the S word, like,
Ass,
of the role that you're in, because that will actually get me banned.
S.
SIN.
Wait, that. Wait, that
That's
will be
that's a ban
banned?
word. That's a word
Really?
that you get banned on Twitch. Yes. Just please don't say that.
All right, I'll try not to say
It
the
rhymes
S
with
word.
shrimp.
It rhymes with pimp.
Yes. Trigger words like that.
I'm
Also
get.
the
It's fine. It's fine. Not saying that is really simp. Oh.
I mean, technically you didn't say it, but
That's what I mean, right? That's what I
please
mean.
don't
I
do
didn't
things
say.
like that. Please don't do
I said.
things like
Hey, that was a good one, though. All right. Well, were we?
that. We were talking about sperm whales.
Were we? Fuck. Wait. When the fuck did that?
Well,
What
no, we were
about
talking about mammalians,
what
mammals,
do
things
you
like that.
what do you think lurks at like the deepest parts of our oceans? Like what fucking creatures do you think actually exist down there that we don't know about?
Merman,
Because if you like, I don't think that. I think
100%.
like
I think it.
there's a law that I can't remember the name of, but when a animal slash fish or whatever becomes bigger, it becomes more efficient on its energy per like energy consumption. So it takes less energy to make the thing run in a way. It's fucking weird. I don't understand it. But that's why, you see like animals of the depths being so fucking big. Like, creatures of the depths, fish of the depths being so fucking big.
Have you seen fat people try to run? I don't think so. My 600-pound life begs to differ.
It's not that they become like, they don't need more energy. It's just they become more efficient at using their energy.
Yeah.
Like, so they need to intake less food over time because they are so big.
I do believe. Have you heard of the Kraken? I do believe
Yes.
that actually lurks down below, and there are actually octopi and squids and things like that can take down whales.
It's when that you look at the giant squid.
Mm-hmm.
The giant squid is the natural predator to the whale, the blue whale. The big fucking thing. And it's just what that only lurks at about 2/3, even maybe like a half at the depth that we know of. What if there's a bigger thing down there that's meant to be the fucking predator to that?
I still believe and I know you're not gonna believe this, and that's okay. I still believe that mermen and things like that exist down below, because we do have some evidence depicting on it. Like, we have handprints, things like that.
Well, yeah, the lost city of Atlantis.
Lost city of Atlantis. It's like they didn't exactly 100% die out, and even if they did, we don't know.
Remember how the world's meant to reset its cycle? It's meant to happen with the Ice Age.
Nature is supposed to take over man-made buildings and things like that, yeah.
Now with the Ice Age, like, all the ice was frozen, it melted, it created this massive flood. Now, what if in that time period, we didn't exist long after then, but what if the Atlantis was actually deep enough, to be submerged enough to actually exist for people like mermen? And as like the water levels slowly went down over thousands and thousands of years, because climate change and how, ice ages actually work, it takes just the world cycle by volcanoes erupting, etc., etc. What if that was the reason why, like, we can't find it?
Well, the more we breed, the more we adapt to different climates, which is why people who are born like Antarctica or Alaska, you see them go out shirtless in 0-degree weather. So that's why I'm like, there's gotta be a thing. There's gotta be them down below, because that's
like, if you're telling me that humans only like came from lizards that went onto land and decided to do egg birthing, you're psycho.
No. That's
like,
not
there
what I'm
has to
talking
be
about.
something down there that actually evolved underwater that's not crab, because everything seems to be evolving into a crab at the moment and we don't know why.
What if we did evolve? What if we did evolve from like them, like down below? Not saying that we were lizard creatures or anything, but we were them, and we developed lungs from. Fuck it, I don't know. What if originally
think of
we didn't
sport,
have
bro.
all that ice? What if originally it was mostly land and water started to form and all that? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, as soon as the sun stopped being such a fucking deadly laser and the ozone layer was created, that's when clouds happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's
when
when the atmosphere
precipitation
changed.
was in effect or possible.
Yeah, but okay, listen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I start living in the water, right? From right now. Yeah, I find a wife. We start living in the water together most of the time. We try at least. Don't get me wrong. We try to spend most of our time in the pool or in the sea or in the lake.
You're not
And
going
then
to
we
evolve.
and you don't think so? Like let's
No, but
say
your
our next
kids or your
our
kids would
Yeah, no,
actually
we're not.
adapt to it.
Yeah, no, we're not. But like,
Water
let's say we
birthing
get
is a thing.
kids
I don't know
and
if
we
you
get
knew
more
that.
kids. We get more
Very
kids.
much.
Is there gonna be a point where our kids are gonna be evolved to breathe underwater?
There could
Is there
be.
gonna be a point?
We would still have lungs. We wouldn't have shit like fucking gills or anything. But there is a point where we would actually possibly adapt. enough to actually it, and if not, we would do what dolphins do, and we would be able to hold our breath even longer, but still have to come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's what I'm wondering, because we can still evolve, right? The human species could still evolve.
I don't think we would have gills or anything, but I do think that we would have the ability to hold our breath even longer. But at
Like,
some point, to not freak out anybody else, like we would like have a designated spot that nobody could find us, that we'd come up for oxygen or something like that.
all right. I don't know, bro. I want to be able to breathe underwater.
But what if dolphins and mermaids are that exact thing?
What if you're a dolphin?
No, but
No, like I know what you mean, though. I just want to know like what we're capable of evolving into, you know?
we
'Cause
wouldn't see
evo
it, but our
evolution
kids
would
would
happen
see
over.
it.
Yeah, but that's like the weird shit, right? Because at what point will we evolve right now?
There
Evolution
is,
has taken
well,
so long, yeah.
there is a theory that eventually, within 100 years or so, we are going to develop gills. That is a theory. That's an actual thing that's coming out. Like within 2 or 3 different generations down, we're going to be able to develop gills. I
Is it because
honestly
we
don't
swim
think
more?
it though. I honestly think we're going to copy dolphins and things like that, because so much ice is melting, so much land is gone. We're either going to go into the Hunger Games stage, and then after that, we're going to be surrounded by water. And but then there's a thing of where the sun's getting too hot, and every couple of years it goes up,
Yeah,
and that's going to evaporate water. So I don't know. Nobody knows. Only time will tell.
time will tell. That's such a beautiful thing, right? Time
Thank
will
you.
tell everything. I don't like the
See, if
fact
we
that
were
my
to evolve, like to have gills and shit, we would need our DNA to completely fucking rewrite itself. And that's something we can do. We can rewrite the DNA of chickens.
I was
We
about.
can rewrite the DNA of lizards. We can rewrite the DNA of anything. Now,
so
what if we do
then
that to a human
yeah,
and
so
give
we
them
could
gills?
easily yeah, so
It's
right?
not as easy as it sounds, but it could definitely be doable at this point in time because DNA is what encodes the
You're
genes and all that bullshit.
you're
I
doable.
mean, we actually can before birth. We can change a lot of things like that. But you have to be
We
a
can
guy,
change eye
a
color. We
zygote.
can change.
You literally have to be a zygote still swimming around in the ovaries or in the sperm. That's the only way that it can change. Because it's possible, because it happens. Like, we have test tube babies, and we have literally babies that are born in test tubes that we can actually alternate. Like, that's a thing that we actually have. So
Yeah,
why not? Why
we
not
can
be
make.
able? The only problem I have is once a zygote becomes not a zygote and becomes an actual fucking fetus, that's when shit goes south and you can't change anything. Because if you were to, our bodies are already designed to grow with the DNA we have. If we were to change it, I do believe that it would have serious effects that our bodies aren't adapted to like handle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but will we die if that happens?
Like say like we were to spontaneously make it so we can breathe in water.
Yeah. With gills, right?
Our
we would die.
body our lungs that are designed to breathe air, done for.
Oxygen.
We would
Yeah.
suffocate because we don't know how to handle it. Which is why it's so important that we do it while we're zygotes, while we're like single celled, or why our DNA is only a few strands long. Because if we do this when our DNA is fully made up, that's when shit goes south. If you know what I mean.
Mm. Yeah.
I do honestly think that one person will watch my stream and be like, I think you're full of shit. You're making stuff up. But see, that's the whole thing of this is like, what if, or this is what we
Taco
believe.
is one of them.
This is
anybody
what
who
we
ever
believe.
watches this, I don't want you to take anything we said as fact or
No.
like anything that we actually believe. This is just possibilities in the realm that we live in.
Possibilities, theories, or things that. Honestly, a lot of the things that I say, I strongly believe, unless, like, I don't believe it or I think it's a theory, I will straight up say that, like, this it's a theory, like, as I've been doing most of the night. But it's kind of interesting, isn't it? About how much could change in our society, how much could change
Shut the
for
fuck up,
humanity,
Taco.
and
It's just the phrase "food for thought."
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
indeed,
So
interesting.
can we change our DNA to fly? Like grow wings or something?
No, I don't think
Maybe
we.
over millions of years, but
Yeah, it would take a while. I don't think we could.
it's like we could possibly regrow tails faster than we grow wings.
Yeah.
We have tailbone.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
I
exactly. That's
Honestly,
why.
I really think that and this is not something that should be practiced, I think if we put a slit into where our tailbone is and we, like, actually sewed something on, I do believe that the muscles would, like, form together and we could, but
But
it's
the
not
reason
something you want to
we
do.
gave up the tails in the first place was because we didn't need them anymore.
That's true. Adaptation is only for survival, not for things that we want, but for things that we need. 100%. It would be nice to hold my beer with my tail while I type on my keyboard with both hands.
double penetration
All
of
right,
your
furry.
tail.
Jack myself off with my tail while I'm still like, hey, mom, texting. Nope, never mind.
Hey,
No,
mama.
Put that shit up the pants leg and be like, wow, I have an it. No, that would be interesting to be able to scratch yourself with your tail while still
Yeah, that would be dope.
being able to, like, type on your keyboard and things like that. I just don't think we would have fur. I really don't.
On our tail.
we
That
would be like hairless cats.
Mm-hmm.
That would be creepy.
We would have
Things-
like body hair and paws and sweat glands, but
That would be so creepy, not gonna lie.
bro, imagine your tail being sweaty and like you didn't shave it.
Please, I would never shave my tail. Come on.
Yeah, but then it just start to look like your ass hair.
Yeah, but like, I would rather have hairs on my tail than have it be a naked tail. That would look so creepy, like, bro. That would look like your dick at the back. Bro,
I've been
Bro, this is
hearing-
like a weird ass conversation I don't want to be part of anymore.
Josh says, did you think that we're just big ass lizards with ascended mindsets?
No.
No. Exactly. No.
We ain't on the Mark Zuckerberg theory of him
We're not
being a
lizards.
fucking
Hey,
lizard.
yo,
We're not.
you
We're not. Like, the leaders of our culture are not lizards. Like, I honestly, 100%.
They're dicks,
Don't
but
believe
they're
that.
not lizards.
They're not. They're cold-hearted bastards, straight up. But that's every senator. That's
cold-hearted. You know what else is cold-hearted?
Well, cold-blooded.
What?
What? Shut the fuck.
Yo, I'm so wasted.
Honestly, though, I do want to get political for a little bit, if you guys don't mind. I honestly don't like what
no,
Joe
wait.
Biden
Stop,
did,
stop.
and like,
Taco is getting too excited.
I don't
Taco's
give a
getting
fuck.
too excited. Shut the fuck
I
up.
can't hear, anyways.
Yeah, I can't hear
We
any
left a
either.
lot of troops in Afghanistan, which was kind of fucked up. And what I just saw recently is that in order for a lot of those troops to come back to America, they have to reimburse themselves and pay to come back, which
Yeah,
I
They have
don't
to
I
pay
don't
to
like.
come back?
Yeah. So a lot of people
Really?
who are in Afghanistan right now can't come back. Like, they have
Unless
to
they
pay their
pay.
way back.
Well, no, like let's be
Whoa,
honest.
that's fucked up.
Like most of the like what were they? The Afghans who aided the US and the UK in the war.
Mhm.
Like most of them who, the Taliban said they would do nothing to, and like they wouldn't be harmed, and no revenge, none of that stuff that they said out on public media. Yeah, there's already been reportings of just like them dragging them out of their houses and shooting them in the fucking face. You know, the Taliban out there to fuck around, man. They want that country back.
There was a video I saw the other day of like a woman who was from Afghanistan who said, literally, that because of what we did, the Taliban had made Afghanistan their home and started fucking shit up. And we just, like, deserted everyone and said, nah, we're not a part of it anymore, which I really don't like. And that now Canada and every other nation and country has brought their soldiers there because we bailed out and we just left our people to die there. Which is, it's kind of nice that a lot of the other countries are like, oh, we're going to step in and help. But it's not nice that the fucking person that we brought in as our president has fucked up to this degree. You know?
Yeah, he was the one that called the bail operation.
Mm-hmm.
Fucker still thinks it's like when he was back in his old fucking, when he was back in Chern.
You know,
Jesus.
Trump did a lot of stupid things. I'm not a Trump supporter or anything. You can believe and be who with whatever you want. He called off a peace treaty, honestly, but he still didn't fucking start a war, literally like what Biden has just did, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I don't agree with what Trump did a lot of times, but he wasn't a bad president.
He didn't fuck everything up, literally.
No.
He said a lot of shit.
Actually did a lot of good shit.
He couldn't, like, fucking hold his mouth or hold his tongue or anything.
No, yeah, that's what his bad shit was. But for the rest, he did pretty good as a president.
Fucking... Come on,
he actually did a lot of good shit. Not gonna lie. Besides the fact that he, like, wanted to build a wall and other shit, and how he
It's like-
always talked out on Twitter and shit. He should have shut the fuck up sometimes. But otherwise, he was a decent president because he decided it more as a business, to take it more as a business. His president ship. He decided to handle it more as a business than as running a country, and that was actually kind of good of him because running it as a business actually, I feel like it did a lot of benefits for the for US as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Fucking. I'm just really upset about, all the troops who went into Afghanistan in like early, 2010, 2011, when all this war actually even fucking started. And they've been going on for over 10 fucking years, and they've lost lives and limbs and family members to this massive fucking cause of trying to stop these terrorist radicalists from taking over a fucking Middle Eastern country. And now we bail out and just leave them with more armed forces than they ever had in the first place. And all the options in the world and all the armories in the world to stand there and defend themselves. What was the fucking play here? Like,
I honestly think that a whole reason why a lot of people don't know about this or just aren't educated or anything is because of media. All of the media. And I know a lot of people are gonna like hear this and look at this and be like, oh, shut the fuck up. But it's true. A lot of like, we've cut down on internet prices to like fall back on, like, we don't know what's going on anymore. Us as Americans, we don't know 100% what's going on till it's already happened, maybe a week later or something like that, because everybody's so caught up in the internet, everybody's so caught up in the latest game and all that, and it's just we're blind. America is blind. You guys, not a whole 100%, but America is blind to what's the next game, what's the next technological advancement. But
no, why did it reset this?
We're blind and deaf because we're just trying to experience what's the next best thing.
Why did this reset?
and it goes unappreciated. It definitely
What the
goes.
fuck? Oh my
It definitely goes unappreciated for how much the American troops go out to support their way.
Hey.
And I will say that it is a big gag and things like that that fucking American troops go unappreciated. Veterans especially, because I've
Bruh.
seen a whole lot of veterans personally in my life that fucking are just washed up, used, because we don't take care of them. We don't, honestly, not 100% of them. We just don't. We use and abuse them. We literally forget them in America,
Yeah.
and then they become homeless. And
It's the same in the UK, and I actually kind of fucking hate it. War veterans get no appraisal.
Hey, wait.
we stop supporting them too. A lot of times, they still get like annual benefits and things like that, but they don't get paid like they are in service, and it's very upsetting. It very much is. The policy "No Man Left Behind" is not 100% a thing in America, which is very upsetting.
Whatever happened to the land of the people?
Mm.
Yeah, bullshit. I'm not even American.
We are the land of the
That
free
might be-
and home of the brave, but we're also the home of the stupid. So,
Damn right. Garbage. I mean,
you're
no.
literally a fucking country that's fighting its own police force for, stupid reasons that they don't understand.
Hey.
Shout out to Donut Operator for the best police content on YouTube. I understand radical racism, but in law enforcement has been a thing for fucking years. But that doesn't mean that every police officer in law enforcement is a radical racist that wants to kill all black people just because they say they have a gun. Like, that's not how this shit works.
I don't see the issue with killing black people, though.
I don't see the issue of killing everyone, but I do honestly believe that we all have a soul, we all have a purpose in life, and there's no reason to kill everyone. Honestly,
maybe.
I understand that all lives matter to an extent, and that it doesn't matter the skin, it doesn't matter what you wear, it doesn't matter about any of that. What matters is that you're a human being, you have rights, everybody has rights. And
Hey, yo, I like black people. Black people are more fun than white people. Yeah, like, you can't even joke about that shit. You can't. Black people are more funny than white people, and you can't fucking even deny that shit.
this isn't the point of that.
It doesn't
It's
fucking
not.
matter.
It
Shut the
does
fuck
fucking
up.
matter. How
No,
about
it
you
doesn't fucking matter.
shut up? Listen, I'm
Listen,
gonna need
listen.
you to fucking sober up for at least a few seconds.
Okay, listen. All right, I'm gonna sober up for. To me, one of the most important things in life is humor, joking. Yeah, I love humor. I love jokes. Shut the fuck up, Grudge. Blonde Grudge. Shut the fuck up.
We
I
can't
see
hear
you
her.
fucking
You're
talk.
arguing
Shut the
with
fuck
something
up.
that's not there. Shut up.
It's there. It's right there. I wanted to shut the fuck up. I know it's talking.
You're pointing
I
at a
don't want
wall.
it to talk. What the fuck is Grudge for you? White? Blonde
No,
Grudge? Where the
right.
fuck's blonde?
Right there isn't even
There?
near the screen.
There.
So
There? Alright. Doesn't matter.
this is a very serious topic.
To me, black people are the most fun race. Alright? Oh, that sounds weird. But, like, they're fucking hilarious, bro. And to me, humor in life is the most important. So, to have fun. To have fun in life is the most important to me. Something you can laugh about. And black people just make me do that, bro. They're great. I love black people. They're literally the best.
Well, you know what? America is probably one of the most racist countries in the world, because in different countries, blackface is a thing, and they don't see that as racist. Not even the same color in different countries see that as racist. You come to
Yeah.
America and talk about it, and then you're in serious shit. It's like a serious problem.
Hmm.
So which
Well,
is what's kind of difficult to me is that we're literally in a time where we're all just at each other's throats again. Like we're on the brink of another world war because nobody can get along anymore.
well, don't get me wrong. All right, I'm not gonna talk shit about it. I do agree. A lot of white people are racist. But the fucking wrong subject is that black people are racist a lot as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a subject that gets ignored a lot of times. A lot of people prove the fact that all races could be racist. Black
Mm-hmm.
people can be racist against white people. White people can be racist against black people. Asian people can be racist against white and black people. It's all that shit. Everyone can be racist against each other. And I feel like that gets ignored a lot of times. But there's a lot of times where black people are, and don't get me wrong, um, but there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube as well, where black people are often more racist against the sign "All Lives Matter," right? There's a lot of people that hold the sign "All Lives Matter," and black people are often more racist against that sign
American get killed.
because it doesn't.
Actually, Americans do get killed for a lot of times things stuff like that, which is why I had to word and like choose my words very carefully
Yeah, but
in
that's what
that
I mean.
aspect. I
Black people are often a lot of racist as well, right? Against white people that do not support black as much as they should or
I do
something. I
think
don't.
Caucasian Americans are like one of the worst ones because we take offense for some reason, and it's the white people. We take offense to fucking words like in Japanese. There's a lot of N words there that just mean the or like a stutter word, and we take
Like
offense
Japanese,
to it.
yeah.
And it's not a
Niga.
it's not racist. It's an actual form of the in Korean,
Yeah, yeah.
and just it's mostly a lot of whites that go after it. Like, oh, you can't say that, but it's not even our language.
Yeah.
So who
No,
the
but I
fuck?
feel like
What the fuck does it matter?
I just
that's
think
what I
people
mean.
need to stop being offended for other people.
Fucking thank you, Flix. That's exactly what I mean. So many people try to
Sensitive.
feel offended for
Sensitive
other
is what you're
people.
looking for.
People
Yeah,
need to stop being little pee piss myself boys and just get the fuck over it.
right? If black people get offended by words in Japanese like niga, fucking let them be, but that's a Japanese word. I don't care. But there's these white people that got offended for no reason over shit for black people, and it's half because to prove that they're not racist.
And
Um,
half of it's for clout.
Yeah, exactly. Half of it's just for to seem good and to get more popular. I don't know, bro, but it's so much. It's so much
They're
fucking
trying
shit.
to do the right thing, but they're doing it in the wrong way.
Yeah, but that's why
Getting offended for somebody else doesn't make you as vulnerable as them. It's the simple fact of you are not black.
want
It's
to
not
make the
offensive
topic
to you.
want to make the topic really controversy and talk about transgenders and shit.
I actually believe. Actually, here's another thing. It's honestly in America and in other languages, it's not even spelled the same. It's not N-I-double-G. It's N-I-G-A, which is another form of the. So there's no even real reason to actually be offended by that. Thank you. I did that.
Oh, you did. What the fuck was that? Bro, stop screenshotting me, Reflex.
Bro, every time your camera freezes, I got a screenshot.
Oh fuck, bro.
I'm saving that one.
Hey, you guys want to talk about transgenders and genders and pronouns and shit,
I
or
I
is that
I would rather not actually.
Yeah, that's like a fucking highway to get banned on Twitch. Man.
Yeah.
All right.
That's like the highway to
Alright.
ban.
Let's go, bro. Let's go.
Honestly, I
Let's
respect
start.
everyone in their own
Hey.
way, and everybody
No,
just
no,
needs to leave everybody alone.
Nah,
And
bruh,
actually,
bruh,
no.
nah,
To
nah.
actually, if you want to get into this, I'll get into this. Transgender is an actual mental thing about people whose mentality, they're not in the right body. It's kind of like dysphagia and everything, where you don't like your body, and it's an actual mental thing where
This is
people
what I
whose
want to talk
brains
about.
they're
Yeah.
women will be in men, and that's the whole reason why we have trans people who go through the actual transformation of changing
Uh-huh.
to women who were originally men, and and women that change to men who were originally women, is because that's
Alright.
an actual thing. Like, we are actually sometimes, and it can happen, we can be born into the wrong gender.
No, I don't disagree with that, right?
Right.
I don't disagree with that. There's a lot of people that struggle with their identity, and I feel bad for them, and I have every respect of them for the feel of what they feel. But I feel like transgender and genders lately have become more of a trend than it is actually about feeling bad in your own body. And don't get me wrong, it's the same with depression, right?
Right.
Back when depression was a thing, you had these people that felt depressed, and they actually had depression. But then after a while, it became some sort of a trend,
Yeah.
where
Became
people
an
Back
acted,
then,
attention
people didn't
syndrome.
yeah,
talk
they
about
they
it. People
acted
didn't
depressed.
communicate about it back then
They,
because
yeah,
it was
so they
so
acted
bad.
depressed to get attention.
Now,
It's it,
yeah.
it, it became more like a trend to feel sad and act depressed about shit. And I feel like being trans and having these different genders is becoming more of a trend as well, right? In this current day and age. And don't get me wrong, I get that there's still a lot of people that actually feel bad about being the gender that they're born in. But I feel a lot of people also misuse this as some sort of trend and be like, oh yeah, I kind of don't feel like myself, so I'm gonna do this thing and for attention. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying everyone does that, but I feel like it's kind of like the depression thing where people just act depressed to get that attention.
It's the mentality thing that I really
Yeah,
just don't under. It's not that I hate it or anything. I just don't understand it. It's a lot of like why there's apparently 100 genders or anything. Listen, you can be anything you want. Biologically, though, you are either man or a woman. But
yeah,
how you
yeah.
are born, you can be born in the wrong body. So
No,
that's
no,
a
no, no. I
thing,
agree
like
with that.
trans. But there's some people that are like, oh, I'm not male or female. I'm this gender. And I, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but
I know, but
it's
me
just
too. Me too.
Male and female, non-binary doesn't exist. You're
new
just too bored to think of something.
new constructs are just difficult for younger
Let's go
generations to
straight
understand,
in.
especially for older generations. Maybe younger generations are more new to it and they're able to adapt with that way of thinking, but it's still kind of difficult to just, and I don't want to say it this way, but to literally pull it out of your ass that you're demi-gendered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not,
The on-
like I
the
said, you
only
could be anything
problem
you want.
the only problem I have with transgender and all this shit, if you want to become a woman or become a man and swap sexes, that's cool.
Yeah.
You can be that in your everyday life. But when it comes to a court of law and how your DNA and all scientific studies point to you being a man, but you want to be a woman, you don't get to go above the law in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's the classic case of Christian going to a female prison because he wanted to become a female. So now he can go in there and rape other women.
Well, see, that's the
It's
whole
like-
point of transitioning. If you're gonna be something else, transition, cut your dick off, stuff like that. I don't know.
yeah.
That's the whole
exactly what
point
you
of
mean.
Yeah, but-
transition.
It's like Batman is not a bat. He is a man dressed as a bat. It's like you are not a woman. You're a man dressed as a woman.
if it quacks like a duck, if it acts like a duck, it's a duck.
Well,
Unless
okay,
it goes,
basically what you're saying,
unless.
right?
So here's the thing, though. Unless you go through the effort to change mentally and everything else, that's the problem I have. I have a problem with a lot of 13, 14-year-olds being like, oh, I'm transgender. And then they're 16 or 17 and they're like, oh, I don't know why I said that. I'm what I am. Like, that's the problem that I have. Like, if you're going through transgender, and I feel so bad for anybody who actually goes through it, because I think, like, just like you said, it could be a trend nowadays. It's
Yeah,
a
that's what I'm
trend a
saying.
lot of times, like, oh yeah, I'm transgendered, and like you can put the idea on somebody and they're like, oh well, I don't feel like I am, and that's totally fine, but don't go and say that you're transgendered if you have no like ambition to change, like if you have no idea to change or anything like that, you know what I
This
mean?
is what I mean. Yeah, no, this is exactly what I mean though. Because listen, I have if someone is born in the wrong body, right, and they're man, and they want to become a female, and they say that to me, I'm like, all right, listen, I'll respect you. I'll call you a female if you want to. I might forget sometimes to call you female, and I'm sorry if I do. I still respect your decision. But if you're not going to go through with the entirety of that operation change, where you're actually going to become female and you're going to stay male but still call yourself female, at one point I'm going to be like, well, I'm done with that shit, you know? Like if you're not like completely into it enough to actually turn female, but you're going to keep calling yourself female, I kind of have an issue with that, you know?
Yeah, you're not 100%ing. It means you're kind of just attention baiting.
Yeah, it's like so that's what I'm on about, right?
There's a doctor that I watch a lot of times that he gets pulled into a lot of discussions like this, and one of his main things is, which he actually got in trouble for in Canada, is I'll call you anything you want, just don't force me to do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll call
Yeah.
you anything you want. If you want to be called a fucking rectangle, a fucking tech helicopter, a man, a woman, I'll call you that. But don't get into my face about things like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
don't get violent because I
Yep.
misgendered you.
Yeah,
You know what I
that
mean?
was what I was just about to be like. Misgendering people is becoming such a problem that they're having to put pronouns on people now.
And that's the issue. Because nowadays, people like those people, right? Say, ask someone's pronouns before you actually start calling them by the
Yeah,
pronouns.
it's
I'm like,
he or
fuck
she.
that. Well, but now you have they as well, right? You have they,
Yeah,
he,
for those
she.
non-binaries that
Exactly. So I'm saying
somehow exist.
there's what, like 5% in the world that have different pronouns. And now you want me, because they're saying before you actually start calling someone's pronouns, you have to ask them what pronouns they would be like to refer to. So they're like, you should ask that to everybody, what their pronouns are. I'm like, fuck that. Listen, if you want me to call you by different pronouns, you tell me. All right. I'm not gonna ask anyone what the fuck their pronouns are, cause like still 95% of this
It's
world,
not
uh,
my problem.
no, no, exactly what I mean. 95% of this fucking world still goes by the he or she, and they're obvious about it. A girl goes by she, a man goes by he, easy as that. And then there's this 5% that might want to change that, and they can tell me, they can tell me, like, hey, I want to be called by he while they're a girl, and they want to transition. I'll be like, fuck, I'm fine with that. I'll call you he if you're thinking about transitioning. I'm down with that. I don't mind. If you feel like a guy in a woman's body, I'm down with that. But then don't tell me to do that if you're not actually gonna transition. And don't change every month because there's these non-binary people that
Gender
change.
fluids.
Yeah, that
I
just
woke up
decide
today and I feel like a female. Yeah, fuck
exactly
off.
what I
Fuck
mean.
off. Fuck
That, that
off.
that's not
You are
how it works.
mentally hurt. Just
That's
go
not
see a
how it works.
psychiatrist.
Okay. But exactly what I mean. That's not how it works. All right. If you have a pussy to me, you're a female. If you want to be called a male,
Go
that's
get a
fine
dick.
by me. But at least think about transitioning to get a dick. Indeed, if you're not gonna get a dick and you're gonna do 2 years, take 2 years to actually get a dick, or maybe never. I'm not gonna call you a male if you're never gonna do it. You know, you're gonna keep the pussy. You're a female to me. If you're a male and you're gonna keep the dick, you're still a male to me. I don't care how you feel like, but at least fucking obey the fucking gender laws, you know? And if you feel
Like,
like a non-binary and you want to be called she sometimes, and sometimes you feel like a guy and you want to be he, fuck that shit, bro.
I'm just
Fuck
gonna call
that.
you it from now on.
Yeah, they, I'll be fine with they. They, it, fuck you, bro. I'm not gonna call you shit. But then these people, right? They also change their name every time. I've met one of those. I've met one of those, and they changed their name. So they were called like a different shit before, and now they changed their name. I'm like, I don't really feel like this anymore, so I'm turning into a male right now, and my name is gonna be this, you know. And
N-
then I'm gonna be like, listen, get your name changed legally, and I'll call you that. But if you're gonna fucking change your name on Discord, and I'm still gonna call you by your old name, shut the fuck up, please. Don't fucking complain about that shit. You
Jordan
know?
Peterson, by the way, is the person that I was referring to.
Yeah, yeah, I think I know what you mean,
Who literally he had a
bro.
statement
I
where he
love
was,
that. I love that dude.
"I'll call you anything you want. Just do not force it on me. Do not make a legal argument about it. Do not legally force me to do it, because that's the problem in Canada. If somebody has a certain gender, you have to call them that legally, or you can get in trouble from the law from it, which I think is kind of stupid. If you're talking to the right people, you shouldn't have to force it that much for
Yeah.
them to just understand. I have a friend. She lives in Canada right now. One of her name is Wolf, and she's trans. She still sounds like a man and stuff. She's trying to figure that out, but she didn't force me to call her a she. I did
Yeah.
that by my own accord, because out of respect,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Exactly.
it's an actually
That's good.
mental thing where people can be born in the wrong body, and it's been scientifically tested. Like, that's the thing. And she didn't just one day, oh, I'm a she. No, she has been troubled with this for years and years on end.
This is what I mean.
Yeah,
And those people deserve respect, right?
yeah.
Those people, they have been struggling so much until they decide that they want to change, they want to transition. And for those people, I have respect, and I would love to call them by the gender that they want. They can
Mhm.
tell me, I'll be like, I'll give you that respect. I'll give you what you want. And don't get me wrong. I give that to everyone that I don't really know.
Mhm.
Everyone that tells me like oh, uh, they can tell me. They can tell me like, listen, I know you're not trying to be rude, but I prefer to be called a he.
Yeah, understandable. That would be most. I hate when I actually am in a call with someone and I'm like, oh yeah, he did this, and then someone gets in my face and goes, she. No, don't do that. Be like, hey,
That's
they are trans and they are transitioning right now. They would like it if you would call them this, and so
Yes, yes,
that would be
with
nice.
respect.
But there's a
Yeah.
whole lot of fucking people, and I understand after so
you know what
many
we call
times you
those?
get upset. Like, what?
We call those white knights.
I understand there's so many people that get upset over the years of trying to actually do this, and like, you get upset, you get tired of saying it, but don't. Listen.
And this goes back around in full circle of me talking about people getting offended for other people.
Yeah. No,
Like,
it's not.
fucking stop.
It's not
Like,
necessary.
if they don't want me to call them a he, they can tell me.
They will.
They have a voice.
They will say something. Not
But
you
don't
being
get
like,
in my face because I said the wrong thing without any prior information.
don't
Fucking
be like,
sensitive.
hey, jackass, they prefer this. No, don't.
You're the
Because
jackass
I'm
here,
going to
and you're going
punch
to
you
end
in the
up on
face
your
if I ever
ass.
see you. Yes, I'm going to knock you on your ass.
But that people like that makes me want to fucking annoy them more, right?
People like
Oh yeah,
They
that, I
try.
want to call
I
you
love
the
annoying white
opposite.
knights. It's so funny.
Don't.
Like white knights that just stand up for women that they don't even know. It's like that one video of the dude that was like, "Yo, bro, what you doing?" And as this woman's just like getting like talked to by this other dude, it's like, "Yeah, bro, leave her alone." It's like, whose fucking job is it, dude? Fucking white knight looking motherfucker.
It is,
Reddit
ma'am.
looking motherfucker. 3,000 hours on Reddit in the past 2 years. Shut the fuck up.
It is, ma'am. What? No, just stop. Stop yelling. Stop
Don't
this.
yell at me to call you ma'am.
Don't do it.
Politely and respectfully request that I call you
Be
that, and then there's a possibility.
Exactly.
I was born and raised where you give me respect, I will give you respect. Respect is not given, it is
It's
earned.
earned. Yep.
Fucking thank you, because people don't understand that most
No,
of the
people
time.
don't.
Spinning it back around to something I was going to say earlier, people nowadays are babysitted too much. They're handheld too much.
Yeah.
The
They're
problems
babied.
are always dealt with in the way that they want them to be dealt with.
Yeah, they're babied.
Yeah, they are nothing but, oh, this is a problem. I want it resolved this way when it can't be done this way, but I want it done this way anyway. And they get it done and they get used to it, and then it becomes a custom. Now everybody has to do that because their parents did that.
Yeah.
It's
I
not.
feel like
You can
parents are
break the
becoming
cycle.
too soft.
Yeah, you can break the cycle, but people are too soft nowadays. People are too fragile. People don't understand people don't understand context nowadays.
We need a
No.
third world war.
We
Not
do.
even joking.
Super
Not
straights
even
versus
joking.
transgenders. I'm joking.
I'm not even joking. Like we actually need a third world war because we're like you're saying, we're really
We
getting
need
too
we need to
emotional too.
honestly, the only way that we can start loving each other again is if we have a war to kind
Yeah,
of
Yeah.
exactly what I
balance it
mean.
out. You need balance. You need evil to go against in order to have good.
Yeah, we're now having too much good. Because okay, don't get me wrong, we
The
still have
world
bad
can't be
shit.
this perfect rainbow place.
Mm-mm.
It's
No,
never going to be like that. And people want it to be like that, and I understand that.
because
People
don't
want
get
the
me
world to
wrong.
be perfect. Everybody wants that, but that's never going to happen.
Mm-mm.
And
No,
that's
no,
the
exactly.
reality we have to face.
And I feel like perfect is where it's gonna be bad matching the good. You know,
Right.
the bad has to match all the good stuff in the world. Then it's perfect. Because if it's only good, then we're getting fragile and we're getting
Yeah.
emotional, like we are in these days, right? Don't get me wrong. There's still bad shit happening. Like, you know, Afghanistan. What the fuck is happening there right now? Still bad shit. But we still there's still these people that do not have the issues with that, and they are focusing on the issues they have, like these transgender people, the feminists. You know, they're focusing on the tiny problems, the fact these Karens and shit. You know, they all focus on the tiny issues that they have in their own life, their pronouns and shit, and they're having so many issues with that that they don't focus on the rest of the fucking issues. You know, so we need to fucking get way bigger issues, like a third world war, so we can
Everybody has
actually.
forgotten the word unity.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Everybody seems to be so selfish nowadays. Only about me, me,
Yeah,
me,
exactly.
my
My
problems,
feelings, my
my
feelings.
wants.
Yeah,
I heard the word feminine be brought up, which is something I actually do want to talk about. That Jordan Peterson actually talks about is that there's a lot of women out there that want to be treated equally and want to be paid the same, but there's not a lot of women that want to do the same jobs as men. See,
Yeah.
men do a lot of jobs that women claim that they can't or just don't even bother with. Like we
Construction,
per
war.
along the bigger percentage, we have more men that are bricklayers or
Yeah.
sewage inspectors, things like that, where women don't want to do. We have
That's not
women
a
there.
woman's job.
we have women there, but those are the women that are like, it's a job. But most women want these higher up jobs. Most women want to be head of companies and things like that.
Veterinarians, you know,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
stereotypical woman jobs.
And honestly, that's no reason that you should be paid higher or anything. I understand equality. I understand that we should all be paid equally and things like that, but there's certain things that women just don't do, which is why it brings them down on
See,
the
that's the
payment spectrum.
problem. They keep saying they want equality, but what they actually want is equity.
I think a lot of women actually pick what they want instead of
Yeah,
take what everybody
the
else
option.
has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they aren't wanting the same physical level of stress and the same spectrum as men because they want the same pay, but they don't want to do the same jobs.
Honestly, and it goes through like violence and all that on the same level too. There's a lot of women that want to fight men, but as soon as like you hit them back, and I'm not saying you should hit anybody. Nobody should hit anybody. But there's a lot of times that women like, you can't hit me. I'm a woman. But oh, why not? Everybody wants equality. Why not have equal fights? I know we joke around like equal rights, equal fights, but that is something that we should take into effect. If women are wanting to be treated equal, we have to put down that barrier. We literally have to put down that barrier of we should treat women on a golden spectrum,
Yeah,
whereas men, it's just normal.
but that's the problem with diversity in species, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like one side of the species has to be dealt with differently than the other and treated differently than the other because they are the baby carriers. They
Right.
are the baby makers. Like, how are men going to survive in a universe on their own? They won't.
Mm-mm.
How are women going to survive in a universe on their own? They can.
We need unity, just like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Unity is a
We
thing.
need equality for everybody's needs, not equality to the same extent.
Right.
Because the shortest person should get the tallest box and the tallest person should get the shortest box, not you both get a tall box.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you want to see over a fence, the shortest person gets the tallest box so he can see over. The tallest person gets the shortest box so he can still see over the same.
Yeah, but see, that's leveling. That's leveling it out, so everybody gets
That's equity.
equalness.
No, that's equity.
Yeah.
Equality is you both get tall boxes, so you are both equal. No matter who you are, you both got the same thing. You got equality.
There's still a thing of leveling it out, which I do believe should happen. But it's very situational, really. I don't believe though that just because you have a certain private part is why you should get this or that. Why women should be on a golden throne just because a lot of women have a vagina or anything like that. I don't think that should be a thing.
But that's always going to be the problem with
Yes,
biological diversity.
it's
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 like
it's always going to be a problem, and it always is.
there's no way to remedy this fact that women are naturally frailer than men and that, women have, reproductive systems that rebirth our species.
Biologically, though, I really don't think that women can do what men do based on uh, the biological spectrum that we have in this world. Because there are certain things that women can't do that men can do. There are certain things that men can do that women can't do. Like, we all have something that we can't do based on what we have, what we are born with.
Like, men can't give birth to children.
Correct.
Women can't lift up to 3/4 of their body weight. It's like men were designed to be, the heavy lifters of the species, and the women were designed to be, the procreators,
Welcome
the
back, man.
mothers. As everything else in the animal kingdom, there are mothers and there are fathers. It's just the way life goes. It seems to be working for them. Why the fuck isn't it working for us?
The
And do you know
only-
why? Because it's because we have free thought.
The whole reason that Unity works for certain couples is because we understand what we can't do, what we're limited to based on our body structure and based on what we have. That's what Unity is, combining both of what you have in order to equal it out, in order to actually, I don't want to say fulfill your quota, but in order to, actually,
Species.
yeah.
That's what it is on a biological level. We just want to keep surviving.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the end game.
Physically, it doesn't matter, or just theoretically, it doesn't matter who gets what or how we get it. What matters is that we survive and we thrive. We get bigger. We are able to actually work together. Because if we can't work together, if we can't have unity, we are fucked. We are fucked. We
Will
will
be a
just kill
point
each
in
other
this
off.
Women
There will be a
should
point
just
in
be
this world.
enslaved.
Maybe. You guys can't see it, but he's fucking dying of laughter. Now, there's going to be a lot of people out there that think we were serious about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Nah,
And that's
not
the
many,
problem with today's society.
not many people are gonna see it. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, why no? But if one person comes across and goes, yo, he said some stupid shit, and it's like, yeah, it's a fucking joke, man.
That's freedom of thought.
No, but that what was his name? That Pete Davidson, Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, no, he talked a lot of good facts though about it, because it's not the fact just that woman doesn't want to do the jobs men want to do, because a lot of jobs the men want to do don't pay as much as the jobs females want to do, right? Because females want high paying jobs, right? While the jobs have to take care of the physical labor jobs like sewage cleaning and other shit, it's the garbage disposal, other shit like that. It's the jobs that females don't want to do, bro. So females often go for office jobs, and he also talked about that men put higher stakes in to get promotion in their jobs. They fight harder for the jobs
Right.
because men are more competitive in that aspect. They fight harder for that shit.
That's biologically like in us
That
though. We
is,
are more competitive because we
yeah,
used to
we are
fight over females.
exactly what I mean. So men fight harder for their jobs, right? And I'm not saying a lot of women don't fight for their jobs. There's still these amount of women that fight for their jobs. There's still these amount of women, but there's a lot of more men that fight for these jobs that pay higher. They want to be the boss. They want to, it's the man nature to fight for that shit. And women often take pleasure in having a good enough office job. And don't get me wrong, some of these women still fight for the job, but they aren't willing to put in what a man is willing to put in, you know. And maybe that's also part of their house job, because a lot of men, if a girl has a boyfriend and maybe has kids, they can't put in as much effort into their job as a man could, because the man is expected to put more into his job than a woman is. So if they have kids together, the woman is more expected to look out at home for their kids. That's often what's to be expected. So that's also where the wage gap comes in, right? Because a lot of women complain about the wage gap, but I don't feel like there's an actual wage gap. It's just the gap that men are willing to work harder and And that's where the wage gap comes in, right? Men are willing to work harder for their jobs and get better paid jobs because they work harder, so they get paid more for what they do, while women are expected to more stay at home while still working their jobs. That's what that's what expected of them. I'm not saying they should have to do that, but that's what often is expected of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's where the wage gap comes from. Is the fact that women just don't go for the job as much as men should do. But that's just me. I don't because I don't feel like there's an actual wage gap. You know, a woman that does the same job as a man, the exact same thing, gets as paid as just the same amount. It's just the
Yeah.
fact that the man either works more, while the woman takes care of the kids at home or does other shit, and the man really goes for that promotion shit that they want to go for. That's their competitive side that also works more. That's where the wage gap comes in. That extra more hours working, harder working, is that shit. Not the fact that there's a wage gap that man gets paid more. It's just the hours they work and the amount of effort they put into the work. But I'm not sure about that. I'm young. Please don't quote me on this shit.
I want to talk about another subject that Jordan Peterson talks about is
Yeah,
a lot of the effects or a lot of the problems that are going on with the world.
yeah,
What
baby.
should you do? I
Yeah.
feel like you've heard this one before, but a lot of things are going on with the world. What should we do? Focus on your own house. Focus on your own things. Like
I think I understand where this is going already, and it's like,
I
well,
don't.
it's like people keep complaining about, like genders and things changing and transgenders and all this stuff, and people wanting to be called different things. And it's like, what about the people that just can't physically understand this because they've been on this earth for like 60 fucking years? It's like, what do they do instead? It's like, how do people cope with this? And it's like, well, you gotta also remember that this is like the 5% that wants to change. And it's like, well, you are the 95%. You can still just live your life in solace. It's not going to be very much inclined that you're going to meet these people. If you do, you can always just act friendly. You don't ever have to meet them again unless you want to. It's like you could just go on and live your own life. You know, things aren't going to affect you drastically like people keep thinking it's going to.
well, the thing was that I was going on about. One of the women asked Jordan. They asked Jordan literally, like, with all the things going on in the world, what should we do? And he says, worry about your house, or if you want to make a difference, clean your room. How are you supposed to do anything outside if you can't manage or clean your room? How are you supposed to make an impact if you can't take care of your own things? How are you supposed to take care of something else out in the world when your stuff, the place that you live in is a mess? If you can't clean up what you've done around you, how are you supposed to clean up everything else in the world? Which is what I really like. And it's one of the main reasons why I started listening to Jordan Peterson, because he makes a good point. It's and in the Bible it says something like that as well. Like, don't worry about the splinter in somebody else's eye when you have a log in your own. You know what I mean? Like, take care of your own shit first before you worry about somebody else. I do think it's okay to talk about it, but don't try and do actions about it, because it's not going to do anything. Like, how are you physically going to put up with this? How are you physically going to organize a way to impact the world when you can't even organize your own room? You can't fix the things going on around you. Why do it? Which is why I'm like, you can talk about it as much as you want, but the first point of you trying to do something, you're not going to go far. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know Jordan Peters. I've seen him a couple times. I just had to refresh my memory on who he was.
He's a great guy. He's really
Yeah,
I
he
love
smart.
did.
him.
He did a lot of lectures for universities on like different political stances
He
of
got
the
a lot of
times.
fucking hatred as well,
Oh
though.
yeah, because he speaks fact.
Yeah, I know he does.
Because people aren't willing to hear it. People aren't willing to
Yeah.
listen. People don't care. A lot of people are stubborn and in their own
He's
ways
rudy.
and
Yeah.
think that if they're right, they're not right. Nobody's right. So,
Yeah.
and I might have misquoted some of his stuff. I might have,
Yeah, yeah, no.
who
But that's
cares?
fine, that's fine. That's fine.
If like people have a problem, look up who Jordan Peterson is. Listen to some of his debates because he makes a lot of good points. And it's like listening to a TED Talk. You learn so much shit, and you learn from different people's perspectives, which it's very valuable. Very.
Yeah. Definitely.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I'm not as drunk as I'd like to be.
I'm way too
Neither am
drunk.
I.
I'm going
I
to.
wish I had more alcohol.
I'm going to end the stream. I still want to keep talking, but I am gonna. I am
Please.
gonna end the stream.
Yeah, that's fine. You should.
Thanks anybody who listened to us. By the way.
Yeah, we spouted some serious bullshit.
Faggots.
We had. Oh my god. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people who like joined in and was listening to us, which is nice. About an hour ago, but I feel like after we touched on the transgender shit, everybody was like, "Nope, goodbye," which is okay. It's okay. If some
It's
people
like my
don't want to listen
favorite.
to different people's opinions.
It's fine, bro.
It's like my favorite comedian, Bill Burr. It's like he had one show where it's called All You People Are the Same. And he talked about like he made jokes about like women getting beaten and like all that, bad shit. And it was like all the crowd just seemed to go silent. And it was like he had to kind of just explain himself. It's like it's not like I'm saying do these things. It's just things we are discussing in the sake and nature of comedy.
Mm. Not a whole lot of this was comedy. It's just I
No,
understand
but
what
that's
you
just
mean, but it's food for thought.
people need to learn. People need to learn how to take secondary sides to debates, not just their own.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what it's a fact.
All right, I'm going to end the stream. I'm paused. Actually, when I go to bed, I'm probably gonna put the stream up and listen to it.
Bro, we're gonna sound like such dumbasses.
I swear, bro. I feel like there's gonna be so many parts where we just make no sense.
Yeah.
Definitely Josh. Definitely Josh.
Who cares, honestly?
I
This
feel
is
like
our
Josh
opinion.
often said the weirdest shit, even though he wasn't even drinking.
Right.
I
Anyways.
feel like this.
Bye, everyone.